Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
The Mariners swept by the Orioles, and we have the same problem again with this team, Bump. I regret to say it, but the Mariners' offense is stalling. And no, Cal Raleigh can't save you. In fact, the first little note that I took for today's show was Cal isn't enough, which is an insane thing to say when your catcher is having a historic season. But it's not enough for this Mariners team. Kind of falling apart. So I'm going to start with this from Luke Arkins, Mariners analyst, who says, the Mariners since May 1st, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and J.P. Crawford have 22 home runs combined, strikeout rate of about 20%, walk rate of about 10%, hitting .286. Everyone else has 13 home runs combined, a 25% strikeout rate, a .204 average.
Not good.
It's not good.
Not good, man. Cal's been doing his thing. He's homered in every series since May 12th. He has 4 multi-home run games this year. He produced 8 of the 11 runs scored in the previous series. He produced 4 of the 6 runs scored in this series. It's like, if Cal don't do it, ain't nobody going to do it.
No.
And that's unfortunate because this is a team sport, and you need support from everywhere. Then I looked up just kind of see where Julio is. He hasn't had an extra base hit since the Astros series. 3 Ks was the most since April 26th, so I guess that's a positive there. And this is 4 series without RBI. Without an RBI, you have to produce. Someone has to help Cal out. I'm no longer looking at Polanco and saying, "All right, man, we need you."
Yeah.
He's kind of falling back into who he was last year. But it's realistic to ask Julio and Randy to step up to the plate and do some things. So, no, it was unfortunate, man. You get swept by the Baltimore Orioles, and they're kind of weird because they haven't been playing well, but they have guys on this roster who you know can get it done. So this was a frustrating homestand. Maybe the team going out on the road will bring them together like a band of brothers, and you take on the Angels today and try to change some things. But it's frustrating when you are watching one of the best seasons we've ever seen from a catcher.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's out there by himself.
I hate that for a second consecutive year we're talking about, please don't waste this.
Right.
Please don't throw this away. 2 different things, right? But, like, once again, you're going, you know, I know sometimes as a Mariners fan, and I know that other Mariners fans can feel this way, sometimes you feel cursed, like the universe is against you. Where you're like, are you kidding me? You're telling me this happened? But if you think about it, right now, you have the best season by a catcher we've ever seen, at least on pace for one. Last year, you had one of the healthiest rotations in baseball and one of the best 1 through 5 in baseball. Like, you had that. That's fortunate. It's like practicing gratitude where you're looking at things going, this is a really cool thing to have. Right. But now are you making the most of it or are you squandering it? And if we're asking ourselves, hey, let me pull up random, like, baseline offensive stats. I read those ones from Luke Arkins where Cal, Julio, and JP are kind of the only 3 doing much of anything right now, with Cal carrying the lead there. The Mariners are hitting .220 as a team, which is the second worst in baseball, and it's tied with the Colorado Rockies. I don't know if you guys are aware of what's going on with the Rockies, but you don't even want to look. It's a bad situation to be in. You don't want to be with them. You don't want to show up to a party and see them there. You leave that party.
You don't want to be associated with anything the Rockies are doing.
Not at all.
The Rockies are bad company at this point, and the Mariners are down there with them. And this is the part of the season where every fan who had doubt is not sitting there and basking in being right? But you're sitting there saying, I told you so, I told you so, right?
It's
we knew this was going to
happen.
So. You know, we knew this was going to happen, and that's where we are in the season. And me personally, I'm in the part of the season where just a few days ago, I'm thinking, all right, you go into the Orioles series, you might be okay. But when you're not able to perform against a team that hasn't done well, and then it seems like guys always kind of right their wrongs against the Mariners, right? Rushman ain't done nothing all year. I mean, he has the series of the season for him. I'm hitting some bombs. Yeah, Gunnar Henderson last year was like a 9 WAR last year. He looks like he's having a turnaround in his season. It always feels like it happens against the Mariners. Now, look, here's the reality of the situation. I'm going to say it. Don't be mad at me. Okay? There's a lot of baseball left. Okay. You're 1.5 games behind the Astros right now. I haven't been really keeping up with what they've been doing and how they've been looking. They just won a series against the Pirates. They got the Guardians coming up. There's still some life and some hope. But if we continue to see the struggles in the batter's box that we're seeing, the hope just keeps dwindling and dwindling away. There's no excuse for this series, all right? You have to beat the Angels in this series. You have to win this series. If you do not win this series, then I think the doubters are going to be proven right once again.
Now, Dan Wilson probably feeling a little more like that. He did say there's a lot of game left to play. There's a lot of baseball left to go. And he said, look, sometimes games just don't go your way.
I don't know if there's pressure. I think each game brings its own pressure. I don't know that, it stacks up or whatever. We go out there, we prepare every night. These guys are prepared to play. They're prepared to do what they do. It doesn't matter if they're on the road, if they're at home. It just so happens that this couple of these didn't go our way.
I appreciate that players and the coaching staff are not feeling pressure because, Bump, you know this, as a player, when you feel pressure and feed into that, you typically don't perform as well. So great. Don't feel like the moment's too big. Just go out and have fun. Just go out and play and try to play through it. I hope that the person feeling pressure is in the front office. Like, I hope that the Mariners front office is feeling pressure, is feeling a sense of urgency, and that they aren't kind of, sitting on, their laurels going, well, I really still believe in this team. I think you can like what you put together and recognize you have a massive problem. Like, I think those two things are possible. I don't think that you should sit and wait so that you can have maybe an I told you so moment at the end of the year. I think you just read the tea leaves, look at a team that's not performing, and go, man, we need to do something. I want to see an aggressive move at the deadline.
I'm on the other side. I want the players to feel pressure.
Really?
Do your job. Feel the pressure. If you're not performing on the diamond, you're not performing on the court or the field, you should feel pressure. Pressure to lose your job. Pressure to be replaced. That's probably the problem to me. Upstairs, they're not applying enough pressure. They're not making moves to apply pressure. If you're not performing as an athlete, you should feel that pressure. And if this continues, Dan needs to apply some pressure. I'm not in the clubhouse. I'm not in the dugout, so maybe that doesn't work with this team because of the personality. But if you are in a performance-based business, you should feel pressure when you are not performing. And sometimes pressure, what pressure does? It separates. It separates the real from the weak, right? The real ones are going to step up and correct some things. And it's harder in baseball because you can't try harder, you can't swing harder, you can't run faster. But you got to lock in. I want them to feel pressure because it seems like around this time every single year, this starts to happen. So apply some pressure. Everyone in that organization. Bro, I want the janitor to feel pressure. Everybody who works for the Mariners feel that pressure because it feels like we're getting to the same thing.
What's pressure look like? Is there a moment in your own career as a player, and this can be in college, this can be in high school, where you felt pressure and recognized that you were under pressure? Like, what did pressure look like?
What did pressure look like? For me, football is like, all right, run the right routes, catch the football, be a better blocker. But there's more ways in football to contribute to the team than there is in baseball because obviously there's run plays, pass plays, special teams, and all that stuff. But it's accountability. And that's the tough part about baseball is that you can't get in front of your team and have a rah-rah speech and you go out there and get them. In football, you can play with emotion. When I was in college, the first quarter, we were in every game because we're so hyped up and ready to go. It's a physical game. And then eventually the better team is going to win. In baseball, it's such a skilled sport that the rah-rah speech ain't gonna work. The running out the tunnel and feeling the emotion for the crowd isn't gonna work. You just gotta lock in. You gotta get into your BP has to change a bit. Your routine has to change a bit. I'm all for the pressure. Feel the pressure because you're disappointing your fans right now, and it feels like you're squandering another opportunity when you had a lead in the division. But I also understand that all their guys aren't there, still waiting on Logan. Yeah. But gosh darn it, man, Cal can't do it by himself.
No, he can't do it by himself. And look, who needs to be feeling that pressure, especially is Julio, who just had a bad day, had an especially bad AB. It was not a great game or a series for a guy. Well, he had 2 hits the other day. For a guy that has been under a lot of pressure. But I've seen a handful of texts already in. Trade Julio while you can. It's a sincere question, and feel free to text in. And I know not everyone feels this way. I would say that the majority of Mariners fans want Julio here. But a real question, how does trading Julio make you better? Did you not hear the stat that I just read from Luke Arkins that Julio, JP, and Cal have combined for 22 home runs. Everyone else, since May 1st, everyone else for 13. Higher strikeout rate, lower walk rate, lower average, lower on-base percentage, worse slugging rate. Like, I know that Cal is the bigger piece of the pie for these three, and that's obvious, and we should praise him for that. But how does trading Julio make you better?
No, because what are you going to get from Julio? Teams are you got to be looking at teams who are looking to sell at this point, and the talent. The reason why they're trying to sell is because they don't have much talent there. You got to add. I don't think trading Julio is the solution.
It's
Defensively, he's one of the best in the game. Offensively, he's having an okay season. He's not living up to expectations. But I don't think you subtract Julio and get better. No.
This reminds me of oh my God, I'm gonna say something really. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. This is when one player has a lot of the spotlight, is getting a notable contract, a sizable contract, and then everyone's pressure and anger is kind of taken out on him, and it is what it is. Hey, that's the deal you got. That's the life you're living, right? You're the superstar. You want to be the face. Well, guess what? You get a lot of the blame too. I'm not gonna feel bad for Julio in that moment. That's just kind of the nature of that kind of role. However, there are a lot of guys on this team that are struggling that no one talks about. And it's probably because they aren't being paid a ton of money. Maybe they're part of a platoon. Maybe in the case of Jorge Polanco, he was playing well to begin the season. But this team makes it to the playoffs by Julio stepping up and being better. They do not have a massive Julio problem right now. They didn't build a great offense.
No, they don't have a roster, man. They just don't. They don't have the roster, and it was almost. It feels like it was fool's gold, right? You're getting contributions from Rivas, you're getting contributions from Mastroboni, and because of those contributions at random times, you start to believe that maybe this team can do something, and they could turn the corner. And that's the tough part about this too, is that people hate hearing that there's a lot of baseball left, but what do you expect people to say when you literally have
stop watching
70-something games or 60, whatever, wherever they're at, a bunch of games left? Like, there's still opportunity for them to turn a corner.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one. God bless the Indiana Pacers. They stunned OKC in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with a 111-110 victory. Here's how Tyrice Halliburton's game winner sounded.
The Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrice Halliburton does it again. Their first lead of the game.
What is the real headline?
If only the Pacers could teach this year's Mariners how to be clutch.
Ooh, well, Kyle's good. Everybody else, y'all be clutch.
Kyle's clutch.
Randy had a couple moments, but I feel you. Y'all be clutch. This was a great game, and I was watching. My brother works at this spot, Side Hustle, in Bothell, and it was like just me and a few other people, and we're watching this game go down. And it was fun, man. Like I said, it has a college type of feel. The best part about Halliburton hitting that game winner is that his dad stayed in his seat. He didn't celebrate too much. He was calm. It's like, okay, you've learned your lesson. You've learned your lesson, sir. Stay in your seat and just celebrate like most dads do. But yeah, good for the Pacers. I did not expect this. SGA had 38, but he took like 30 shots. Chet Holmgren didn't show up. He's been the key to OKC's success. When he drops 15 to 20 points, they typically win. But no, I did not expect this. I had OKC winning in game one, but, didn't go down.
From USA Today, they had a couple wild stats on this game. How about this one? For the first time in almost 15 months, the last time being Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, the Thunder lost at home to an Eastern Conference team. Their opponent that night, March 12th, 2024, the Indiana Pacers. It was also the largest comeback, fourth largest fourth quarter comeback. That was a tongue twister. In an NBA Finals since 1971. That was a long time ago. From Ramona Shelburne, this season, Tyrice Halliburton has hit 13 for 15 game-tying or game-winning shots in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime, which is the best in a single season since play-by-play was first tracked in '96.
Yeah, my man is clutch. The last, 3 or 4 minutes, OKC only scored 6 points. He's a weird type of player because I watch people debate about him and trying to see if he's crown him as a superstar or not. I don't think he's a superstar, but he's a rising star in this game. His game is unorthodox. It looks a bit funky, but it works for him, man. And he is clutch. They crown Jalen Brunson as the NBA Clutch Player of the Year. If we push that into the playoffs, you got to look at Halliburton and say that crown belongs to him.
Question for you and Curtis. Did this game, in which OKC was favored by almost 10, did this game change your opinion of whether or not the Pacers could get this done? Because both of you have, like everyone else, including Vegas, favored OKC in this matchup.
I still think OKC gets it done, but they definitely made it more interesting. I didn't expect them to walk into OKC and win that ball game. But, man, it's a 7-game series. I think OKC still gets it.
I think it's going to be a much more competitive series than we all kind of anticipated prior to Game 1. I think a lot of people saw this series either being a sweep or end in 5. But you punch the opponent in the mouth the way Indiana did last night, steal a game from them. I mean, worst case scenario for Indiana now, it goes 5. It likely goes 6. I can see both teams still winning another game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, anytime you got to go back to where the series started in Game 6, like that's going to be tough. So I'm excited that last night kind of showed, hey, Indiana's not going to back down. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tyrice Halliburton. I mean, everybody here in Seattle.
Last question, this one about OKC. SGA with 38 points. A phenomenal game from him. Obviously missed a final shot that would have put them ahead, giving Halliburton that chance to win the game. But that being said, he was the star, unsurprisingly, for OKC. How did OKC lose? What happened?
I mean, you get out rebounded in the paint, turnovers and whatnot. Like, when you lose 111 to 110, I mean, what do you really point at? It just comes down to executing late in the game, and that's what they didn't do.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, our long national nightmare is over. Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's the real headline?
The 2 most predictable stories have come to a close this week. Aaron's getting with Pittsburgh, while Don and Elon have split. I'm sorry. I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum. That was predictable, was it not? Like, you knew that those 2 would get into a fight. You knew that it would come to a head. And we all knew that Aaron would end up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and yet these were the 2 stories. I mean, it's just been nonstop coverage.
Donnie and Elon are beefing like 2 middle school girls with Twitter at their thumbs. So y'all keep that up. It's entertaining. But we knew Aaron Rodgers was going to. I told you this was going to go down, Stacy. I'm back into the mix as far as our bet. Aaron Rodgers will have a better season than Russell Wilson. And it'll be all good. But listen, I'm glad that he got it done before the mandatory camp. I don't know why he waited so long. I don't know what the conversations were like. They probably knew this was going to go down the whole time. But I'm interested to see how Mike Tomlin handles this, because you don't treat him like the average quarterback, but you also don't give him the power that he had with the New York Jets. What's that relationship going to be like? If there's any place or any organization I think can handle Aaron Rodgers at this point, it has to be Pittsburgh. There's too much tradition. There's too much order over there. Let's see how this thing unfolds.
Here's my question for us here with Aaron Rodgers. We've talked plenty about what Rodgers could mean to the Steelers, playing with DK, all of that, because we've always known, like, that's the only place he's going to go if he does play. I thought he'd retire and, like, start some podcast company. I don't know. But Adam Schefter tweeted out, this is yesterday, Pittsburgh packs its own personal revenge tour for Aaron Rodgers. On that personal revenge tour are the Jets, the Packers, of course, Bears, Lions, and then he has the Seahawks. Listen, if we're saying the revenge against the Seahawks is the 2014 championship game, or maybe the Hail Mary, that was over a decade
ago. Long ago.
I'm sorry, he's been with it. There have been games played, many games played between these 2 teams since then. What do you mean revenge tour?
Yeah, we played them last year.
You got to get over
Pick 6, Leo Williams. Let's go. That's a stretch there. I don't think that's a revenge. Part of the revenge tour.
I don't know what kind of revenge we're talking about with the Seahawks that hasn't already been played. I mean, in 2022 or 19 or whatever, like, maybe it would have been a little bit relevant.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, a day after saying he'd do the home run derby if asked, Cal Raleigh told Mina Kimes he would play in the 2026 World Baseball Classic in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. So I feel like that's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you know. Obviously with with that and the stage. And you saw, what it was like the last time with
so great.
the whole Mike Trout, Ohtani, and
It's amazing.
how many people were tuning in and how good it was for baseball. I'd love to do that.
So what's the real headline?
And Bump's heart will skip a beat if Cal gets hurt. First, the Home Run Derby. Now, the World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic is different.
Oh.
That's some national pride right there. That's different. That's different. You do that.
Wait.
The World the Home Run Derby is just an exhibition. It's just for fun. It's for fun in the middle of the season, right? So you go represent your country. It's different when you represent your country. It's different.
Bump.
It's different. This is.
Wow.
I mean, listen. I get what you're saying in theory. Like, oh, there's just more to play for. Like, it's it's not as common an opportunity. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
These are the same to me in my mind.
It's more exhibition.
It's
games.
more exhibition.
It is, but it's not in the middle of a season.
Oh,
Remember
Not
how
no
we were
season.
talking about Teoscar Hernandez and Julio not getting their required at-bats because they were playing in the World Baseball Classic? Man, think of the discourse next April if Cal gets off to a slow start. Oh, you didn't get enough at-bats in the World Baseball Classic.
Are you more likely to get hurt in the World Baseball Classic or anything leading up to it or in the Home Run Derby?
I wasn't talking about getting hurt. I'm
In the
talking
Home
about
Run
him.
Derby.
I'm talking about him resting during the All-Star weekend. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't say nothing about him getting hurt. Now, you go out, you got a chance to play for your country. That is completely different. If the U.S. swim team hit you up right now, it's like, Stacy, we need you to help with this USA swim team. You're going to do it. It's USA. So that was my angle.
Someone said it's about DK getting revenge on the Seahawks, not Rodgers. Now, listen, if Adam Schefter would have said DK Metcalf's revenge tour, then sure. But it says for its quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. It is more about DK. That's the real.
Yeah,
headline.
like I understand that if someone was like, "Oh, revenge game for DK," I can see the context with that. Not an idiot. But for Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't quite resonate the same way. I don't
bet
think
you
it quite makes
DK
sense.
just got some pressure off of his back, man, with the signing of Aaron Rodgers because, he got his money, but he wants the ball, and he gives him the greatest opportunity to do that.
But this is Adam Schefter saying Aaron Rodgers is getting revenge on a team that knocked him away from a Super Bowl. Like, he's very specifically talking about Rodgers and presumably about the championship game or Hail Mary in that one. All right, we've got some observations from Seahawks OTAs coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
When Cal comes into work, he's a catcher. He's looking at game plans and how to get guys. So I know there's been a lot of talk about the heavy workload, but he's built for that. Some guys are just built to last.
Dan, he knows what it takes to be a catcher. He knows that life. He knows the grind and the pain in the knees and the lower back.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with some great news. I'm with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you guys just increased your community coverage.
That's right, Brock. We like to say we're in your neighborhood. We have you covered here at IRG. We just added 2 fantastic locations. One is in Harbor Square in the Edmonds Bowl, and the other one is in the Mill Creek Town Center, right to the entrance to Mill Creek Town Center. So we'll be able to provide fantastic care to all of us and everybody's neighborhood.
You know I love it. Expert physical and hand therapy right in your neighborhood.
That's right. We're in your neighborhood. We want to be your neighborhood family physical therapist. We'll take care of you, your family, and your neighbor.
And remember, no referral needed, just personalized care when and where you need it. Visit irgpt.com and schedule your appointment today. With over 40 convenient locations, IRG is right in your neighborhood, and now 2 new spots as well. That's irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Synthetic Turf Northwest is now open in Fife, the South Sound headquarters for premium synthetic turf. They help homeowners with a turnkey solution, DIYers, and contractors and landscapers needing quality products. With premium turf in stock, expert advice, and pro installation services, everything you need is under one roof. Visit their new showroom off I-5 in Fife. Synthetic Turf Northwest. Supplies and installation expertise all in one place. Mention radio for up to $1,000 off. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With EarnIn, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the EarnIn app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. EarnIn is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump and I were at Seahawks OTAs yesterday. A couple takeaways from this one. Bump, where do you want to start? We've got lots of notes to cover.
Where do I want to start? Let's start at the quarterback spot. Everyone wants to know about the quarterback. I thought that Sam Darnold looked good. For what it's worth, there's some things that I was talking to a few of the reporters yesterday, and I'm reminding them, I go, look, man, in these OTAs, there are times where Sam Darnold will throw a football when he's not supposed to throw the football because he has to give the defense a look, right? He knows it's probably going to be intercepted or the coverage is all blanketed and it's on top, but no one's getting any kind of real reps if he just holds on to the football every single time. So yeah, I thought for the most part Sam Darnold looked all right. He threw the football well. I thought Drew Lock looked really good, man. He has some zip on the footballs he was throwing. And I thought Milroe looked like a rookie trying to figure some things out. Like, you see the talent there, obviously, but it's falling in line the way it should be. We know Sam Darnold's number one. Drew clearly looks like a pro, and Milroe looks like he's still figuring some things out.
Yeah.
So I thought quarterback play was decent yesterday.
Yeah, Milroe I kept just out of curiosity waiting for that like shocking Milroe moment, but they're not going to have him just constantly take off and run or do those things that, in college really set him apart. He had one deep shot. I don't know. We were on the sideline. I don't remember who was the receiver on that play. If it would have been a catch, it would have been
Ricky White.
Yeah, it probably would have been his most impressive throw so far, but it wasn't. It was I don't know if it was a drop or
he dropped that thing.
Dropped it.
Yeah.
Dropped by Ricky White. Otherwise, though, I thought you're right. It's important to note, like, I know we're all very excited about Jalen Milroe, and quarterback controversy is always newsworthy, but there isn't quite one here yet.
There's no quarterback controversy.
Yeah, it's
Kill the noise. If you're thinking it, stop it.
It's kind of how I felt. I think Jalen can be more talented than Sam Howell, certainly, but it's how I felt when we were at camp and you're looking at Sam Howell and Geno and you're going, why are we talking about this? Like, there's a gulf of development between these two.
Yeah, the only way there's a quarterback controversy is if you get into week 5 and you're 0-5.
Yeah.
Or you're 1-4. Then now you're going to start, thinking about other options.
Okay. Do you have another one? I have one too.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I have one that's going to work for you anyways. It's going to go throw it your way. Safety Nick Manwari got some work as a pass rusher. So I didn't watch the other 2 days of practice because we were on air, but I was standing next to Bob Condotta and he mentioned it was the first day that he was doing that. So apparently Thursday, the first day that he was getting some work with outside backers. It wasn't all day. I think he was there a little bit during team drills, but still obviously with the defensive backs. But he got a little bit of work as an outside backer, a little bit of work with the pass rush, including some one-on-one work with a position coach. Bump, what's it tell us?
Well, I think it's deceiving. I think that he's really just a nickel. You get rid of a backer, you bring him down to that second level, and you use him in the blitz packages like they kind of did Spoon last year and the year before. So I think that the way he's aligned, you can look at him and say, okay, well, yeah, he is rushing the passer, so he is a pass rusher, but he's really just a big nickel,
Yeah,
right?
so rounding out the development there.
Yeah, so no, that's what we expected, right? We want to see him in multiple spots. We want to see him being used the way they've done with Kobe Bryant. They used to send Kobe Bryant on some blitzes. They use Spoon that way. So if you're able to be multiple in your personnel groups and the way you're using them, it just puts more pressure on the offense. So no, I love it, man. I want to see him blitz, get after the pass. I want to see him drop in the zone underneath. I want to see him over the top. I want to see him in man. And so far, I think we've seen a little bit of that.
Okay, what else?
The wideouts. The wideouts look sharp, man. The wideouts look sharp. And they're supposed to look sharp right now because OTAs is built for us to win. Like, there's a catch, we're standing next to each other, a catch where Jake Bubble catches his one hand with his left. It was nice. And I look to you, I go, he's getting lit up. He's getting lit. It was a good catch. They're going to show it during film, and he can talk that talk, but when the pads are on, he is getting lit up because the DBs aren't allowed to make plays on the football right now unless it's just a blatant interception and no one's in the way. So the receivers were doing what they were supposed to do. There was a drop by Ricky White. He's going to be kicking himself for that. But we saw JSN. JSN looks a little thicker, man. He put on some weight, some good weight, not bad weight. He looks thick. He looks strong. The receivers look like they're supposed to at this point. I did not see Cooper Kupp catch any real impressive footballs, but I did see him get behind the defense several times.
Yes, and Bob said with us that Cooper Kupp had a really good first day, so maybe just taking it a little easier by Thursday. Let JSN be the star for that day. I also wrote down a teaching moment that both you and I were within earshot of. It was Julian Love leaving the field with two young defensive backs and having a little bit of a conversation with them. Julian Love, just clearly a leader out there.
Yeah, I think the situation, they're down on the goal line, and there's an adjustment that they didn't make. It was they were reacting, obviously, to what the offense was doing. QB makes a call. J Love comes off the field. He goes, hey, when they do this, we have to do this. And he's talking to Reek, and was it Spoon? Or was it someone? Yeah, Reek and Spoon. And it's just the defense getting on the same page. And what I do like about the defense while we're out there yesterday is just the communication is on point. I mean, these guys are talking about the strength, right? Strong right, strong left, making these adjustments. I heard a safety. I don't even know. It wasn't even a starter. It was like a number 3 safety. And he's talking to the other safety. He goes, hey, watch out for this, that, and the third. It's just the communication lets you know that everyone's on the same page and they're understanding what they're seeing. A quiet defense is a defense that second guesses themselves. That's not what I'm seeing with these guys so far.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sundell got some reps at the ones with the ones at the center spot. I thought that was Olu's job for sure, and I think it still is. But it's good to see these other guys competing for that spot. I think when it's all said and done, Olu's going to be the guy, but seeing Sundell get some snaps there as well, bars makes you understand that nothing is guaranteed on that line.
Yeah.
There's 3 spots that are guaranteed actually. Zabel at a guard spot,
yes,
and your tackles, but the center guard, they're rotating guys in, and I think that's good.
Well, and I think again, we just watched this one practice. It's so hard to tell in OTAs. But I don't know that there were moments. First of all, no one got hurt, which is good.
Right.
And then I don't know that there were moments. It's too early to look at it and go, what a horrible offensive line. I will say this. Maybe this is a better takeaway. It's not what happened on the field. But of a lot of the conversations that I had with people off the field, a lot of people in and outside of this building think that the offensive line is going to be better than people think, not just out of hope, but because they don't think Ryan Grubb did the very best job with this offensive line.
Yeah.
And no hate on Grubb, right? No bad blood per se. But I think there's an idea that he didn't set them up in the best way. They were a little exposed. I mean, a lot of people I talked to had this take.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they will be better because of scheme and the way that they are being taught. I don't know exactly what Grubb's teaching style was because I'm not in the meeting rooms, but it seems like this offensive line is in a better place. And if you listen to just guys like Abe Lucas talk, he seems more confident about who they are, what they're going to do, establishing the run. So I think that there's opportunity. The toughest part about O-line during OTAs is that you really can't see what they're doing. Like, schematically, you can understand what they're trying to do, but because there's no pads on, you can't see them get physical. But everyone looked healthy. Abe looked good. The O-line looked good. Well, talk to me again when they put the pads on.
Oh, I had a concern. I did have a concerning note. One point of contention, 1 point of concern. Young Kobe Bryant wearing on, what'd you say, what felt like 85-degree weather?
It felt like 80, yeah, for sure.
A hoodie, a long sleeve shirt, and then his jersey with sweatpants.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a chance to pull this young man aside and say, how are you feeling?
Maybe
But I was concerned.
Maybe he's trying to cut weight. Maybe he's trying to lose some pounds.
Or like, where's Kobe from? Is he a Florida kid?
I don't know.
I don't know either. At any time we interview a guy who's especially a Florida kid, they're always like, no, this is pretty nice. It's pretty pleasant outside. I'm like, yeah. But I kept staring at Kobe going, oh my God.
Nah, my man is from Ohio.
Kobe!
From Ohio.
What?
Maybe
He's got to be trying to cut weight.
It's humid in Ohio, so maybe this dry heat doesn't really affect him that much.
I could feel my face burning after about an hour being out there.
Yeah, it was hot.
And I was like, I don't know how.
It's young blood.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, we do have one more observation that I think is a really, really important one, but I'm going to save it for our next segment. We're going to go over 4 pieces of news today. One is about the Seahawks. Excuse me, 2 are about the Seahawks. One is about the Mariners. One is about the NFL. And they're just some random little stories, and we're going to figure out whether or not it matters, what it actually tells us, or is it a non-story? That's coming your way next.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's
Gunnar
not good.
Henderson, back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:48. Wyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you just don't want to go through all the hassle? I don't blame you. With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own car. So what do you do if you want to get the most money for your car without selling it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your used car and pay you right up front for it, which is great, but once they resell your old car, they share half the profit with you. The question I get most from friends is, well, what's the catch? But there isn't one. Here's how it works. This program means that Wayscar Ford saves money by not traveling to buy cars at auction, which means not paying purchase fees, shipping fees, and travel expenses. Now they can just share that saved money with you, their customer, rather than outside vendors. It's a win-win. They encourage you to shop around, but if Wayscar Ford can pay you the same or more as their competitors and share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you go anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with customers. It's only at Wayscar Ford in Auburn, wayscarford.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams primer and ceiling paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin. I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for Nourishing Champions. Why pickleball?
Obviously, it's a growing sport, but also this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We are the most competitive people, so regardless of how sorry Doug might be, he will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl.
Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Spring is back. Our bats are back. Is your postnasal drip and congestion back as well?
Hi, this is Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. We are a proud national center of excellence for helping hundreds of patients with Rynair. For those of you sick of searching for another allergy medication, Rynair is a minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip, congestion, and stuffiness after only one treatment. Come see us in Auburn or Federal Way. Book your appointment at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we've got a couple random news stories as we wrap up the week, a few of them breaking more recently, and we're just going to figure out whether or not they actually matter. So let's get to it with our first. The Seahawks had perfect OTA attendance. Look, I know that we head to OTAs and you want me to be able to come in, or Bump to be able to come in and say, listen, Sam Darnold is going to be a Pro Bowler again. Listen, I'm telling you exactly what the starting offensive line is going to be. But sometimes OTA takeaways are a little more simple. And this one is just the Seahawks had perfect attendance at OTAs. Not every single player practiced every single day. Not every single player was able to play. But every single player was in attendance at least one day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now, for what it's worth, Brady Henderson was asked about this on With Brock and Salk and had this to say.
Typically, at least in years past, you've seen a handful of guys just not show up to any of them, and they would show up for the mandatory portion. And so, to me, the bigger picture takeaway here is, and I think this is sort of by design here, like this is a team that I think there's going to be a little less individualism on this team. And that was something that Pete Carroll, I don't know if he welcomed it, but he sort of accepted it, knowing that, when you let players be themselves, you're a lot of times going to get the best out of them. That also comes at a cost. And there was a lot of drama that they've dealt with over the last few years. And I think that they are very much enjoying not having as much drama.
The story, Seahawks have perfect OTA attendance. Bump, does it matter?
It does and it doesn't.
Okay.
Like if, let's say, an offensive lineman wasn't there, a projected starter, but they're typically there. The O-line is pretty good. If, say, Ernest Jones wasn't there, let's say if it does and it doesn't, right? Because you want your team to be together. You want these guys to grow together. You want that continuity. You want them to get into the playbook. You want to get relationship with the coaches. Sure. But there are some players who don't need this OTA. So if a few players weren't there, I wouldn't be tripping. But it does say that guys are eager to learn this new offense and just to be around the squad.
This is what I'm hearing from you. It matters in that it's good news, but we don't need to make it a giant story about identity.
Nah.
Like, we don't need to make it a giant story about how, like, oh, this team is ready to go.
No, because every team is ready to go at this point. Every team is chanting Super Bowl or bust when they get into the locker room or whatnot. Yeah, it's cool to see because guys are wanting to be around the squad. But, I mean, like DK's not with the Steelers right now. Not a big deal. I would expect him to be there because it's a new squad.
Sure.
But, man, DK has shown that he's a good receiver in this league.
A fair point is that you're right. If we're going to say, let's say a player wasn't there, that it doesn't matter, well, then we can't do the opposite.
Yeah.
And when everyone's there, say, oh, it does. It definitely matters. It definitely matters. Okay, fair. Next story here. Cal Raleigh wants to do the home run derby. Asked again. First, Daniel Kramer, this time Mina Kimes.
Yeah, if I ever got invited to that, I would 100% do that.
The story, Cal Raleigh definitely 100% absolutely wants to do the home run derby. Does it matter?
It matters to me because I want to rest.
Okay.
But this is what him competing in the home run derby will do. Just heighten his profile, get more eyes on him, and maybe give him a bit more respect when it comes to the national media and fans who just aren't watching. Is it a big deal? Yeah, it's a big deal. Whenever you have a representative in any of those competitions, right? And obviously you always have one in the All-Star game, but in something like the home run derby, it is a big deal, and he should be celebrated. So I like that he wants to do it, but like I said, the parent in me is like, man, just rest.
Okay, so big picture, no, it doesn't matter, and that actual injuries from a home run derby are pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
But for Bump, yeah, it matters because I don't necessarily want him to take that time out to do it.
No, I want to rest, man. He plays a lot. And I know he's young, he's 28 years of age, but he plays a position that just requires a lot out of you. But if he feels, that's the thing too, is you have to trust the athlete sometimes. And if the athlete is telling you, look, I feel fine, I'm ready to go, then you go ahead and let him do his thing.
All right, next story here. This is one that actually was making headlines earlier this week on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we're going to include it in our wrap-up here. Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions in the first OTA. He ended up having a much better 2 days, but does it matter? Here's Tim Hasselbeck.
Can you rip up the contract, Dan? 2 interceptions and 7-on-7 in June? I mean, hopefully he shows up to practice tomorrow. I don't know. Like, normally we do overreaction Mondays during the season, but we can do, overreaction Tuesdays right now. Look, you never know the scenarios in these things. You also never know what they're trying to do. You have a lot of young guys in there, oftentimes, running wrong routes, things of that nature. I think Darnold in Seattle is a great match. I think he ends up playing well for him.
Sam Darnold threw 2 interceptions in the first open OTA on Tuesday. Tim Hasselbeck says, everyone calm down. Bump, is it a story?
That's the most overblown thing I think that is surrounding this team right now. It's him throwing 2 interceptions. Guess what? He's probably going to throw more interceptions in between now and the start of the season. Guess what? He's probably going to throw interceptions in the regular season. No, there are a lot of things that factor into quarterbacks throwing interceptions, and Tim kind of hints at that. Look, sometimes receivers run the wrong route. Sometimes the chemistry isn't there. That's why he's at these OTAs, to learn the playbook, build chemistry, and take some chances out there. So, no. I mean, Geno threw an interception his very first pass in Las Vegas. I doubt people are still talking about that.
All right. Going to another story here, our last story. Aaron Rodgers eventually did sign with the Steelers. Here's Adam Schefter on why Rodgers finally made it official.
Essentially, if Aaron Rodgers wants to begin to get involved in the Steelers offense, learn the new offense, work with his teammates, be in a new city, the time to do it would be before training camp even begins. Ideally, he might have participated in the team's offseason program, but he was not ready to do that due to a number of personal reasons. He is now ready. So he's going to fly to Pittsburgh. He's going to sign in time to participate in the mandatory mini camp next week, and that will begin the acclimation process, begin to get him on board. And there's been white smoke from the Vatican for the second time in recent weeks, and now Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Steelers. Bump. Does it matter?
Yeah, it does matter. I mean, because people were speculating, is he going to retire? Is he done? How long is this going to take? Now this team has a clear direction, and they probably had that direction all along, right? I doubt that Aaron just called Mike on a random day and said, all right, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Let's get this done. No, there's been some communication for sure between the two. It's a big deal because it has some order to that quarterback room now. Who's over there? You got Will Howard,
Mason
Rudolph. Like, it's like, all right, guys, you knew you were going to be the 2 and the 3. Now it's definite, and I think it helps the receivers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Receivers are now, okay, we definitely have Aaron Rodgers here. It's a big deal because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He's a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and we know he's on the back 9 of his career, maybe the last 2 or 3 holes of his career. So, yeah, it's a big deal because it finally got done and we can stop talking about it.
Tough week for Mason Rudolph. If we're looking at Aaron Rodgers and where he can actually take the Steelers, undoubtedly Aaron Rodgers makes them a better team than they were without Aaron Rodgers. You're right. They didn't have any other answers there. But in a jam-packed AFC, I don't know how high I see the ceiling for the Steelers.
It's going to be tough. We know one thing for sure, that their defense is going to be pretty darn good. But you're in a tough division. You're in a tough conference. I don't see them being Super Bowl contenders, but maybe they sneak into the playoffs.
Let's see. 866-979. We have a couple people opining about whether these are big stories for them. Pretty much everyone agreeing with you. One person not agreeing Aaron Rodgers is going to be much of a thing in Pittsburgh. I think that I consider the Steelers as not having a quarterback until Aaron Rodgers got there.
Mm-hmm.
So with him there, I got to co-sign with Bump there. It is a story. It does matter. Okay, the 2025 MLB All-Star Ballot is open, and Cal, Julio, JP, and the crew need your help to secure a spot this year's Midsummer Classic in Atlanta. You can vote up to 5 times per day, every day through June 26 at MLB.com/vote. Trevor May joins us next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
You know, when Cal comes in to work, I mean, he's a catcher.
He's looking at game plans and how to get guys. So I know there's been a lot of talk about the heavy workload, but I mean, he's built for that. Some guys are just built to last.
Dan, he knows what it takes to be a catcher. He knows that life. He knows the grind and the pain in the knees and the lower back.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
Allergy and sinus symptoms are annoying. They're frustrating and can ruin an entire day. They're also curable. I'm Dr. Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. We can free our patients of awful symptoms by testing and treating their allergies to simple, non-invasive treatments. Stop suffering from nasal congestion, sneezing, runny nose, facial pain, and even snoring. Let us help you get relief. Easily, quickly, and permanently. We're local in Federal Way and in Auburn. Come see us or book your appointment at sternsinus.com.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
The perfect Father's Day gift. Time. This year, take Dad to LeMay, America's Car Museum, to explore 100 years of rare and luxurious vehicles and get your adrenaline rush in the racing simulators. Fun for all. Visit americascarmuseum.org today.
June is Men's Health Month, and we want to place a special emphasis on prostate cancer awareness and treatment. Prostate cancer can be silent. It's important to get checked, even if you have no symptoms. Ask your primary care doc for a PSA screening if you're 50 or over, and 45 if there's a family history. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment at Swedish CyberKnife right here in Seattle. It only takes 5 short treatment sessions. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Oh, it is the time of the season for pests. That's right. No one likes them. No one knows where they come from, but we can all agree no one wants them in their house. Mike Salk here for Crawl Pros, and they have a full-service pest control division now called Pest Pros. They can come to your house and do a full corner-to-corner inspection, take care of any problems, just like they did at my home. This is the time of the year you'll start seeing more ants in and around your home. You may also begin hearing a little buzzing outdoors. Bees, wasps, hornets, if they make a nest on your property, that is a huge nuisance. So please don't try to take care of those nests on your own. Simply call Pest Pros to have any nest removed and destroyed professionally before the problem grows or you and your guest ends up getting stung. Pest Pros is the full-service pest control division of Crawl Pros with eco-friendly treatments to keep ants, stinging insects, and all sorts of critters from making their way into your home. If you're worried about rodents, ants, or other bugs or an issue in and around your home, call Pest Pros or visit gopestpros.com to schedule a free inspection at gopestpros.com.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Pacers upset the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night, a story I plan to include in every snapshot today. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game winner with 0.3 seconds left, a shot that also gave the Pacers their first lead of the game. OKC forced 24 turnovers, that's good, but they struggled with the three. Pacers, meanwhile, hit 6 of 10 in the fourth. The Mariners look to bounce back after being swept by the Orioles with a series against the Angels. First pitch at 6:40 p.m., pregame show at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. You can subscribe to Trevor May Baseball on YouTube and download Mayday on the Foul Territory Network. It's Trevor May joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Hey, Trevor, how's it going?
Great. Thanks for having me, guys.
We're happy to have you. I wish that we had a hotter Mariners team to talk about, but it's still a fascinating team. I'll start with what's working. Cal Raleigh having an absolutely unbelievable season. Just tell me what you're seeing from him this year.
Yeah, what he's doing is incredible. I think he's been pretty incredible since he's been up, especially for a full-time catcher. When it comes to the catcher position, it's common knowledge is it's either defense or offense is what we're getting, and he is doing both at an elite level. He's the best defensive catcher in the major leagues and arguably the most productive hitter in the league, in a league that also includes Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. So I think it's even more impressive than people are saying it is. And without him, I think the season would be a lot more bleak than it is, and their success. Honestly, I'm to the point where now, offensively, the majority of their success, I think, it could be attributed to Cal Raleigh and his swings at the plate.
Hey, Trevor, naturally, when your team is struggling, we're connected to the people in the streets. They text us saying, and there are a few people who have texted in today that are saying, trade Julio. He's not living up to expectations. What do you say to that comment?
I don't know if you want to trade a guy that is still 24 years old. That you got to always remember, especially with guys this young, is sometimes it doesn't all click until they've gotten their feet wet and got to play every day for a few years. And he's a high energy guy. I think when it comes to Julio, it has nothing to do with skill set, and I think it has a lot to do with decision making. And in my opinion, that is something that can be learned, and sometimes it takes a long period of time of not quite being the best version of yourself to make meaningful changes that are important for your outstanding success. You can't argue with when he is right, when he is hot and going. There is not a better player on the planet than Julio Rodriguez when he is in one of his streaks. And so it's all about getting those. It's all peaks and valleys, right? And we don't want to rely so heavily on the peaks, so the valleys are even deeper. You gotta shore those things up a little bit. But in terms of ceiling, I still to this day don't think that there's many other guys in this league outside of the Fernando Tatises that are more athletic and have higher ceilings than Julio Rodriguez. So even in terms of his contract being what it is built in a way that it is heavily dependent on his production, and though he is going to be paid really well for the rest of his career, is potential to be paid like a superstar. So those deals don't come along very often either. I'm preaching a little bit of patience with him, and hopefully watching Cal Raleigh do what he's doing, because I feel like patience and sticking with what you do well is what he's doing above and beyond right now, and that's why he's producing the way he is. That if Julio could take a page out of his book and quickly, then he can be that daily producer. It's just about what he's choosing to swing at, the moment he's in, and how he's trying to rise up to that moment, kind of force things to happen. And I think that's been that's what I see. That's what I've seen since he was a rookie, is that when the big spot happens, he just wants so badly to come through in that situation that you press. But the more often you're in that situation, the better you get at handling it. And I think that we're going to be singing a little bit of a different tune about Julio Rodriguez come, August. I think a lot of things will have changed by then.
Maybe what's so unfair for Julio here, and has been for so many other players, guys like Mike Cameron included, is just that for a Seattle fan, if you're told, oh, this guy's your best guy, this is the big hope, this is what's going to help, I don't want to say save, but, lift this franchise to a much more competitive team, automatically people think of Griffey. Is there a more fair comp for Julio? It could be a player who started slow and then figured it out, or maybe just a player that's more like his skill set.
I feel like it's hard, especially with Julio, because his ceiling is so high. We have seen glimpses of just an absolute freak of nature out there for months at a time, and how he ended last year, the year before that, I think it was July, where he had 60 hits or something. Guys don't do that. Most of even the superstars' best months aren't that good. So it's hard to find a comp outside of the kid in terms of skill set, because they're very similar in that way. But I would say a guy who came into their own, maybe who showed some really good skills, even though they're not the same skills, like a Brandon Nimmo, for example. He at first was great and had to kind of work on it for a couple of years to really develop into a center fielder. And then he had his breakout year, and then now he's been really consistent ever since. And sometimes it just takes finding who you really are and how you slot in to a team, especially when you get that tag of being the franchise player as a 22-year-old. And then, especially as an organization's gone to the playoffs once in the last 25 years, that's just a lot of expectation of you to be the savior, to play the way he does with as much energy as he does. He feeds off the crowd. He hears what you guys want, and so that could be a little bit of a two-sided coin. One side is it's great and you can feed off, but the other side is when things don't go well, it seems worse than it is. And I just genuinely believe that he's going to find this sweet spot where he tempers his need for the big moment to happen and just kind of sticks with what he's doing and not trying to push it. It really is that simple for me. So I just think that he's in a unique time period for this team where they're right there every year, and he just wants to get it over the hump to where it's consistent. But I think that starts with him and his approach. And then the rest of the team it bleeds in the rest of the team. So following Cal Raleigh, I think just is the way to go for everyone else in this lineup right now.
There's going to be a situation here pretty soon, man, once Logan Gilbert is healthy and back in the rotation. You have Wu, Castillo, Emerson, you got Bryce, George Kirby. How do you shuffle this thing? Who do you send down? Do you do the six-man rotation? How would you handle the situation once Logan is up and healthy?
Man, it's a really good problem to have, but still a conundrum at the end of the day. And I think this is something that they've been lucky they have to deal with, because everyone stayed healthy all year. They only threw 6 starting pitchers last year, so it's going to be really. I don't know which one of these guys. There seems like there's 2 spots that need to be moved around, maybe a little bit. Do you go with the hot hand in one of the situations and then go with the proven commodity in the other? Or do you stick with the hot hand? My guess would be, just how this team's been run and the MO of Jerry DeFoto and how he's kind of operated in the past, is that we're going to try to get back to the same situation, the same 5 guys that we had last year first. Try that first, and then go from there. That would be the first thing I would assume what was going to happen, and that would mean guys with options are going to have to use those options, even though they're throwing really well. This is just the roster crunch situation, but again, the starting pitcher hasn't been it's been good, but it wasn't last year's level yet. And I think that's something that they see probably as a place they need to get to in order to get back in that first place spot and hold it. So I would assume that, Emerson Hancock's throwing really well, but he has options, and the other guys don't have as much mobility in that way. So that would be my assumption for how those moves will play out.
What have you made of what Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander have built this year? And I guess we can combine it with last.
Well, yeah, they're very similar. The teams are very similar. And I think that, the resurgence of Jorge Blanco right out the gate was a big, I think, green flag positive that they banked on and has worked out. And though he has kind of come crashing down to earth a little bit, he's still a productive hitter. And has been and contributed to a lot of wins. And if you compare this year and last year, it's not even close still, even after the struggles of the last month or so. So, but other than that, it's just kind of the same team both ways. And I just, we all listen to the press conferences from Jerry and from Hollander and the things that they just really want to. They have a very clear vision and a plan. They want to get to a certain level and try to maintain. Be competitive and be right there without, needing to rely on outliers that aren't very easily predicted. Do I think that's enough rest personally? I think there's more rest that could be taken. But there is a lot of pieces that have worked, and relying on the things that work to get you to win you games is important. You can't necessarily lean on bringing in a free agent thinking he's going to hit 50 home runs in this park. It's just, Cal's got 24, sure, but Julio's got 10. He's second on the team, right? No one else is really hitting a ton of homers, which is the MO in T-Mobile. So you are limited in that way a little bit. And going for that stuff doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of times. But I think they have the pieces to be competitive, and they have the pieces to go to playoffs and make a run. They're just relying on, guys who haven't quite done it here yet to start doing it at some point, and at some point that you've waited a little bit too long. So, I think the next place we're going to see someone come out and kind of surprise everybody with the production is probably from the minor leagues. And, Cole Young's had a very limited ability to be in the big league so far, but it's going to be one of the guys from Tacoma, prospects coming up, or even Cole Young kind of really turning it on if this team wants to take the next step.
We started off our show with a conversation about pressure, right? And Dan says, well, excuse me, the team doesn't feel any pressure. We got good guys who are going to go out there and play. And I'm on the other side. Obviously, I have a football background, and we apply pressure. I'm like, I want them to feel pressure. Like we don't want the same results from last year. What is the clubhouse like during a time like this when you have a team that's shown they're capable of playing some good ball? You're in a little slump. Do you apply pressure? Have you been in a clubhouse where pressure's applied, or do you think that you kind of just let guys be and they'll come out of the slump naturally?
That's a really, really interesting question, because baseball is a very, I think, unique sport in how that needs to be applied. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are certain problems in football that you can solve with just run harder or just hit them harder. Yeah. Like just commit, right? In baseball, committing sometimes can get you out of whack. Like I mentioned with Julio, and just pressing. Pressing does not work in baseball, especially when you're trying to react to a baseball as a hitter. So it's almost like you come in and it's an accountability type of pressure. It's are you making the best decisions for yourself, or do you know what the best decisions are? And the staff and the other players, your teammates, should be helping each other to know what those things are. That is what makes good baseball teams. And then the expectation just kind of happens. Like you guys expect that you're going to get the results you want because you are confident in the process that you're using every single day, because there's a game every day. So you can't rely on emotion. You can't rely on adrenaline as much as you can in other sports. And effort. Sometimes it's less pulling the chute a little bit, or taking your foot off the gas a little bit because you are pressing too hard. Those are the best managers, the best coaches are the ones who can see who is doing which one of those things and how that might be affecting their specific performance. And baseball is also a game where one guy can't really take over for any given amount of time. One guy can take over one game, but it's not like basketball where you can be like, let's just feed it to LeBron for 10 straight games and we'll win. Like, let's just feed it to our best player and we'll probably win. It's just, you can't do that in baseball, so you have to rely on guys, certain guys, different guys on different nights, and it takes a commitment to the process and a commitment to everyone making decisions and learning, if they're young, learning what those decisions are, best their ability, so that they're out there at least when things don't go right. They made the right decision in the situation. It just didn't happen. If that's all that's going on, you can live with that. And sometimes it doesn't work out at the end of the day, but over a 162, the best teams tend to do that best.
Subscribe to Trevor May Baseball on YouTube and download Mayday on the Foul Territory Network. He is Trevor May. Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 Down Territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what was refreshing to see at OTAs yesterday?
I see the vision. Like I literally see the vision of Kubiak and his offense. The execution, you can take it for what it is. Running backs aren't going to be tackled. Wide receivers are going to have opportunities to make plays. But I saw a wide zone. I saw a wide zone to a screen. I saw a wide zone look to a reverse boot over the top. You just see the connection from play to play to play. I saw the red zone situation where there's a fullback. I just saw things that I didn't see over the past couple seasons. I saw connection when it comes to the play calling, and I also saw a big fullback back there when you get down in the 5-yard line, because you got to be physical sometimes. So no, it was just refreshing to see not necessarily new concepts, but concepts that connect and new personnel, because I think that this is exactly what this offense needs. Again, they're in pajamas, it's OTAs, take it for what it is, but at least the vision was there, and it was fun to see it kind of unfold and watching Sam Darnold kind of get this team together.
It sounds like you're saying you're seeing, you know what a team wants to be, and you're seeing them lay out the rough draft.
Yeah.
So it feels like they can take steps that make sense. Like if I was like, oh, I'm drawing a face, and you see like an oval, and you go, okay. But if I show you like a rectangle or a triangle, you're going, okay, well, maybe I could see where this starts.
Yeah.
I can see where it's going to go. But,
Precisely.
okay. You know, I think when they draw faces, they might start with rectangles or triangles sometimes.
Oh, they do sometimes,
yeah,
actually.
see, I really undermine myself. But I'm not an artist. Second down. What did you love about the defense yesterday?
I loved the chatter from the defense. And we talked about it earlier. Like the chatter when you're figuring out what side is the strength, what adjustments you're making when the offense is moving. I love that. But the chatter I'm talking about is just talking that talk, man. I mean, they are intense. They are in it. I saw Witherspoon talking. Jay Love, who's one of the nicest guys on the team, he was talking. They're yelling at the referees to make a play or don't make a play, or make a call, don't make a call. They are so intense and intent with everything that they're doing right now. It's fun to watch. And it's hard. I would imagine it's hard to do that on defense when you're not allowed to bring the physicality that defense has to bring. So what do? Alignment, assignment, execution, and communication. They're on point right now when it comes to that. And we spoke to a couple players, and that's what's being reflected. They're telling us, man, we feel like we're moving in the right direction. We feel like we're going to do some great things. It's just the energy on the defense feels really good right now. No pads. You got to be able to go out and be physical. But if you can't be physical, you have to be able to communicate, and the communication with the defense right now is on point.
Third down. Who's a guy that caught your eye people might not know about?
No one's going to know this name.
Okay.
Unless you're just a football junkie. John Rhys Plumlee. You know who that is? No idea.
He was a famous author.
Famous author.
From the 1890s.
He played quarterback for Ole Miss and UCF. He transitioned to the wideout spot. He's wearing number 17, and I saw him catch a football, and he was gone. He was ghost. And I always try to find these underdogs and root for them, because I was that guy at one point. So there's a name that you should watch during preseason, John Rhys Plumlee. He was a quarterback at Ole Miss from 19 to 21, transferred to a UCF, had decent numbers, threw 2,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, but I transitioned over to the wideout spot. He's not the biggest guy in the world. It's like 5'11", and he made some plays. He's a guy who I think is going to shine during the preseason and hopefully either hop on a practice squad or get picked up somewhere else. So number 17, if you're looking for an underdog to root for this year, check this man out. He's got some speed. He's got some hands.
Is it a pretty open competition behind the first 3 names in the wide receiver room?
You would think, well, I would think that Derek Young and Jake Bobo have the upper hand, but you drafted Horton, you drafted Ricky White, you got this young, you still got Cody White over there, you got Plumlee as well. I think Jake Bobo and Derek have the edge. I would hope Derek has the edge. Also, they have Sims in that group as well. Derek has looked like the more complete number 4 receiver. Didn't get a lot of time last year for whatever reasons. He's got the upper hand, but yeah, I think it's not wide open, but the door is cracked.
4th down. What do you like about the Seahawks coaching staff?
The communication, and it's intense, and it's nurturing. It's everything that you need. Carl Scott, I saw him get after a player yesterday. I believe it was Nehemiah Pritchett. And it seemed like Nehemiah made a play on the football, but didn't do it the way that Carl Scott wanted him to do it.
Yeah.
And he's yelling, Nehemiah, come over here. And I'm hoping that I could hear what he was saying, but then he quieted down, right? I grabbed your attention. You know you messed up, but now I'm going to teach you. I'm not going to embarrass you in front of everybody, even though sometimes people need to be embarrassed and they respond certain ways. Maybe he doesn't respond that way. I saw AD coaching up the defense, and he was yelling, and that accent was gone. I go, are you faking it? Are you faking that accent?
No, it's not.
I know he's not faking it, but he was yelling. I didn't hear no accent.
His accent is my favorite British accent. I don't know where it's like what region it's from, but I do watch a lot of British reality television, and whatever region his accent is from is the best British accent.
So AD is out there coaching. Mike McDonald is out there coaching in a different way. I mentioned it yesterday. It's a bit more intense. Just the communication amongst the coaching staff when it comes to the players is on point. Kubiak seems like he's an enthusiastic guy, but calm at the same time. It's just it's refreshing out there, man. I appreciated the different type of communication. You got the intent, you got the nurturing, you have the teaching, and it all seems like it's flowing right now. Everything's good in June at OTAs. I'm sure the Tennessee Titans feel really good about their chances right now.
They're going to win
I'm sure the Browns are like, yeah, we got a pretty good squad.
17-0.
But I don't cover them. I cover the Seahawks, and I love the way that the coaches are coaching and teaching out there in the ways that they're doing, the variety of ways that they're doing.
You think AD might see his role grow this year? I've been wondering, like, you can't just go from 0 to 60, hand the reins over to your defensive coordinator. Mike McDonald's first year, he made it clear, like, I'm the play caller. It's my defense. AD's here as defensive coordinator and eventually will transition. Well, that's got to start somewhere.
I heard AD in an interview during OTA he said, I got to put guys in the right position. So the fact that he's talking like that, I got to put guys in the right position. Not McDonald, not us. I have to do it. Lets me know right there that his role is expanding. Probably not going to call plays this year. By the 3rd year, I would expect him to be the guy.
Have you noticed me speaking slowly?
Yeah, she was on one earlier.
So you guys know when, maybe you're trying to be very normal. Like, let's say, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe you're.
No, I don't know what you're saying. That's the problem.
I'm just saying, the moment. I don't want to on air use the analogy. Yeah, when you're trying to act normal, when maybe you don't feel normal. I had so much caffeine today. I had 4 shots of espresso.
You're feeling jittery.
Then I had a coffee, and when I introduced Trevor May, Bump said I was talking so fast that he started laughing
Her
out
snapshot
loud.
was at 100 words.
We need to find it again. Can we find the snapshot? And when I introduced Trevor May, Bump literally looked at me and started laughing out loud. We had to turn our mics off. He was like, you're talking so fast. So then my first question to Trevor is like, Trevor, thank you again for joining us. I tried really hard.
Yeah,
Matt,
it was cool.
Matt, should I throw it a break or can you find it?
Go to break. We don't have enough time.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Timeline coming your way next.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's
Gunnar
not good.
Henderson. Back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:40. Lyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. So one of my favorite customers I've ever had, he came in and had a really bad experience with several different dealerships. He just lost his husband. His husband left him with a truck, and he was like, I don't need a truck. Like, this is so impractical for me. And it was a really emotional decision for him because it was one of the last things that he had of his late husband's. We were like, it's no problem. Like, we're going to help you. And we did the process. The same way that we always do the process. And we helped him trade in his truck for a beautiful new Rogue. And that was really cool. And he bought his second car from us. And I'm sure when he needs a third car, he'll come back and buy his third car from Nissan too. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of like candies and fruits and stuff.
Making a great day for the people around you is making a great day for yourself. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
We at Three Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. Three Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Take advantage of Lake Washington Windows hot savings. $750 off per window and $1,500 off per door with leak armor installation. And enjoy 12-month same-as-cash financing only through June. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams primer and ceiling paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m., subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on seattlesports.com.
You know what's faster than your paycheck? Literally everything. It's time to get your pay up to speed. With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Synthetic Turf Northwest is now open in Fife, the South Sound headquarters for premium synthetic turf. They help homeowners with a turnkey solution, DIYers, and contractors and landscapers needing quality products. With premium turf in stock, expert advice, and pro installation services, everything you need is under one roof. Visit their new showroom off I-5 in Fife. Synthetic Turf Northwest. Supplies and installation expertise all in one place. Mention radio for up to $1,000 off. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com.
June is Men's Health Month, and we want to place a special emphasis on prostate cancer awareness and treatment. It's important for men to communicate about issues relating to their health, especially family health history. Prostate cancer has been in the news, and right now I'm joined by Dr. Landis from the Swedish Cancer Institute. Dr. Landis, how common is prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer is very common. About 1 in 8 men will develop prostate cancer here in the U.S. That ends up being about 300,000 cases per year.
How can men test for prostate cancer?
Well, first thing, patients should ask to have PSA screening from their primary care doc. Anyone 50 or over, and if you have a family history starting at 45 is pretty typical.
If diagnosed, why should patients seek out Swedish CyberKnife for treatment?
What we hear from patients all the time is that the treatment really was amazing. They didn't have to take time off of work. The side effects are really minimal, and there was minimal interruption in their lives.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Brought to you by Integrated Rehabilitation Group.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Bump and Stacy looking at the top stories you're going to see on your own timeline. Before we get to our first story, I've had probably 6 shots of espresso so far today.
I don't think that's healthy.
I don't, but I got a coffee and then I wanted another coffee and I just wasn't thinking about
Especially
it.
when you don't drink water.
And I haven't eaten anything.
You're so dehydrated right now.
Oh, so dehydrated.
Tell the good folks where your water bottle's at.
Right here. Oh, I left my water bottle at VMAC.
Yeah.
Trevor told me to move it when we were interviewing Tyrice Knight, and then I left it there because I'm just not used to looking for it, you know? But thankfully, I brought in another water bottle today. That's not important. That doesn't matter. We have sports stuff to get to, but before we do, Bump was laughing at me when I had the snapshot and introduced Trevor. You were laughing and you turned off your mic to tell me you're talking so fast right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I've been actively I'm trying right now to make myself speak more slowly. And Matt claims to have found evidence. The Pacers upset the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. A story I plan to include in every snapshot today. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game winner with 0.3 seconds left. The shot that also gave the Pacers their first lead of the game. OKC forced 24 turnovers. That's good, but they struggled with the 3. Pacers, meanwhile, hit 6 of 10 at 4. The Mariners looked to bounce back after being swept by the Orioles in the series against the Angels. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. Pregame show at 5:30 right here on Seattle Sports.
I didn't notice it, but yeah, Bump, you're right. She was going fast.
I think it sounds fine. I think it sounds absolutely fine.
Twisted.
Yeah, obviously some doctored audio, but it was...
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never.
It was pretty fast.
It was fun.
Okay. Stephen A. Smith will begin hosting a daily radio show on Sirius XM. Our first story here. It's in Michelle Beadle's 12 to 3 time slot, Eastern time slot, as part of a new deal he signed. The big issue is that no one told Michelle Beadle this before she hit the air this week. That feels like a problem. Here's what it sounded like.
Man, all I ask is to be treated with respect. Well, how many times do I say I give what I get what I give? And so here we are. We're going to do our shows because we're contractually obligated to be here. We're going to talk about Tibbs because, they fired him yesterday in the middle of this year's show. It's going to be a fun few hours here.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure no one's feelings will get hurt in any way, shape, or form.
So the cat's out of the bag. I guess we're talking about it. We weren't supposed to, just as a heads up. We were only given a few hours notice, but we weren't told any details. We were promised that no details would be released. We didn't even know who was taking our place in the lineup. Just that it was going to be announced that new show was being added. Unbeknownst to us, the Hollywood Reporter, of course, had all the details. So it was a little embarrassing, I'm not going to lie. I've been in this business for 20 plus years. I've been treated poorly a couple times. This didn't feel good. I'm not going to lie.
Whatever you think about Michelle Beadle, poor form for Sirius XM, for her management, for an agent, whoever, for not letting her know. That's awful. Sirius XM announced on Thursday they're moving on from Beadle and her co-host, Cody Decker. A question for Bump, a question for listeners. Let's pretend it's actually beautiful outside, so you're a little more tempted. It's a beautiful June day.
It actually is.
You find out in the middle of your shift, wherever it is you're working, that your company's moving on. You're being fired. You're not going to work. Are you leaving or are you finishing your day?
No, I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish. But when I'm done, I'm talking to somebody. We're sitting down and you are going to feel the anger that is boiling inside of me. But I'm a professional, so I'm going to finish my job. I'm going to do it. I need to make sure I get that check end of the day. But no, this is a horrible look. It's a bad look, but Michelle Beadle can't try. I mean, it's Stephen A. Smith that's taking over her spot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's everyone knows Stephen A. Even if you don't like him, you know him and you listen to him. He is entertainment, and it's good for him. But I'm professional. I would finish my job. She has to finish her job. You walking out or you finishing?
No, I'd probably finish. There have been jobs even where the older jobs, like you put in your 2 weeks. I'm talking like working in the mall, and you still finish your shift. You still finish the week, and it's up to them whether or not you do it. I've never left just up and out of here. I know without looking at the text line that there are people that are going to say they would.
Yeah.
You know what I
think
mean?
so.
Matt, Curtis. Let's say you're a bartender, waiter, or something where you're I'm out of here.
We can say it's this job. I'm out the door before they finish this sentence. You will never see me again.
We're never coming back from commercial. We're just in commercial for 50 minutes.
I'm
and
grabbing
people are
my
like,
phone,
Matt just left.
I'm grabbing my bag, and I'm gone.
Did I tell you? I've already told this story, so I'm going to keep it really short, but about the waitress that quit mid-shift when a friend and I were.
yeah.
Yes. A friend and I were watching the game at a it was mostly empty bar. And we put in an order for food, and our food never came. And then my friend goes up to the bartender and is like, hey, we put in an order for food. And the bartender's like, oh, she quit. So she took our order. She took our order. And then sometime after taking our order, she quit and just walked out.
Well, that's different.
Well,
Waiter?
this restaurant didn't think to be like, let's.
If you're a waiter, I'll dip. Yeah, I'd dip if I was a waiter.
Just leaving. Okay. Curtis, at long last, justice has prevailed.
That's right. The right thing has happened.
UW suspended baseball game from May 5th against NAIA's Warner Pacific University has been ruled in favor of Warner Pacific.
That's right.
If you guys can recall, come on, the game was suspended because the lights went out, not suspiciously, at Husky Ballpark with UW trailing in the 6th inning. Power outages happen all the time.
I think
on the
the
shores
weather
of
was
Montlake.
fine that day, right?
No, you never know what could happen. In the week since May 5th, Washington was eliminated from the Big Ten tournament and didn't qualify for the NCAA tourney, so the game had no impact on their final standings after all.
Good. I wish it did. I wish it did have impact on their final standings. Cheaters. Man, you know what that's like? That's like when you're a kid and you're losing in a video game, you just hit the reset button, you turn it off, and you're getting smacked in like 2K or something like that. Nah, man, it's so suspicious. So suspicious. Sore losers. Take the L. I wish that it affected your standings, but the right thing was done.
I like how they
was that Curtis?
wait
Anything?
I like how they conveniently wait until after they've been eliminated from the Big Ten tournament and they don't get a spot in the NCAA tournament. They're like, fine, have it. We don't even care.
Yeah.
We don't even care. I think they care deeply, but they will say they don't care. And I believe this is Warner Pacific's first year with their baseball program too, that's pretty cool.
Huge win for them over
Power
my Huskies.
4. They beat a Power 4.
Yeah, because the power went out. You know what I'll say? I don't think that someone hit the lights. Like, I don't think someone cut power to the stadium. I do think they should have just given a win to Warner Pacific and just been like, hey,
you're gullible.
Complete, like the
naive.
game ended.
You're gullible,
no.
you're naive.
Oh, that's
they hit
dramatic.
those lights.
That's
they
dramatic.
did.
They hit those
That's
lights.
No way.
Yes, they did.
No.
They told the janitor they gave the signal.
No,
Do it.
absolutely not.
That reminds me of the time in high school. I think I've shared this story where there was a comedian in an assembly that was just bombing her set so bad that kids were like walking out of the gym, and our assistant principal hit the fire alarm so that everybody could go home. Like he was just like, I've had enough.
He's a real one for that though. He's a real one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up, the New York City mayoral debate was held yesterday, and it finished with a question everyone wants the answer to. Tell us about Tom Thibodeau's firing.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe your reaction. We already heard this from one to the Knicks firing their head coach, Tom Thibodeau. Miss Adams, thumbs down. Mr. Thumbs down, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Our goal is to win the finals.
Okay.
It's not to get to the
Thank you all. Thank you all for a spirited debate. That's all the time we have.
Oh, I think that they should have spent a little more time on that.
My man said win the final. Win a championship.
Well, I mean, you just got to look at steps.
Politicians don't know sports.
No, they move like they don't know sports, and they move. Actually,
Our goal is to win the final game.
My favorite brand of sports commentary is when people ask politicians to talk about sports, and politicians, in order to appeal to their constituents, need to look like they're massive sports fans.
Mm-hmm.
But then they do and say things where you're like, you are so casual.
Yeah. My random thing that irks me about politicians, I saw Obama do this. When they pretend like they're really drinking a beer, they roll up their sleeves and try to act normal, and you ain't take one sip of that beer. It's at the same level I saw Obama do, and I'm waiting for him like, drink the beer. Drink the beer. You want to connect with the people?
Come on.
Drink the beer.
Just sip it.
Like,
just take a little sip.
How many times do you think
you're not going to get drunk?
Presidents have been lit in the White House?
Every time. Every single president.
Yeah.
Every single president. Easily.
But they tell their security team, like, watch the door.
Even if you're a more just old-fashioned, you don't really party, you had a Thanksgiving that went awry. You know what I mean? You just had a couple glasses of wine at an Easter, whatever it was. Every single president, for sure. Yeah, no doubt in my mind.
A couple months ago, kind of to the same here with politicians and sports crossing over. Remember the Philadelphia mayor trying to spell Eagles?
Yes. E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles!
I can
Let's go
sympathize.
Birds! Let's go Birds! That's like Fergie going, let's play some basketball.
I spelled Eagles wrong in 3rd grade.
Did you spell it that wrong?
You know?
I have to
You
say
weren't the Philly mayor.
No, listen. 3rd grade bump spelling Eagles EGLES, right?
Yeah.
Is better than what was hers?
It was like ELGSES.
Elgas.
That's LGSES. That's not close. That's not even close.
I'm confused listening to her.
You could sound out your version. It's just Eagles. You could sound it out. You know what I mean? Elgsis doesn't make any sense. Time for the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Logan Gilbert threw 60 pitches in his most recent rehab start. We'll ask Rainiers manager John Russell at 1:30 if Logan will need another start with Tacoma. The Seahawks 50th anniversary team has been fully unveiled. Our biggest takeaway is coming up next.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's not good.
Back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:40. Lyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, and our guest, Dr. Jamie Antoine, orthopedic surgeon with Pro Ortho in Kirkland.
Dr. Antoine, how are you?
Doing well, Shannon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. We're going to talk about this syndesmosis, high ankle sprain injury, kind of called a tightrope. Tell us about that injury.
So a high ankle sprain or a syndesmosis injury involves an injury to the ligaments above the level of the ankle joint that connect the two big bones of our leg, the tibia and the fibula together. Usually that injury is happening when the foot is getting rotated externally or away from the body relative to the leg. And in football players, this typically happens as the foot gets pinned by another player and the player goes down to the ground.
And how do you diagnose it and repair it?
So usually this is diagnosed on exam with pain above the level of the ankle joint and a lot of swelling and pain with weight bearing. So physical examination and then x-rays, including special x-rays, usually called a stress view, or an MRI can be helpful to diagnose it. If it's an unstable injury, that can require surgery to line the bones up as the bones have been disrupted or separated from one another. And so that's done surgically by lining things up under x-ray. And more recently, we'll tend to fix this with a special suture button and suture device, or a tightrope type of device that can hold the bones together.
Return to play.
So return to play with the more accelerated rehab that we're able to have can now be as short as 8 to 12 weeks, whereas traditionally using screws to hold this together, this was often a 3 to 6 month recovery.
Dr. Antoine, great job. If you want more information regarding sports medicine injuries, you can contact Dr. Antoine at AntoineOrthopedics.com. That's AntoineOrthopedics.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at IRGPT.com. That's IRGPT.com.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed. Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Stacy Rost here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman today at WOISeattle.org. That's WOISeattle.org.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive. Deep
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Seahawks 50th anniversary team has been fully unveiled. Our biggest takeaways from the players announced and some potential snubs. Let's just go through. Should I go through the whole list? Or we should break it down by position? Okay. So for quarterbacks, you've got Dave Craig, Jim Zorn, Russell Wilson, Matt Hasselbeck, Geno Smith not included. Was that a snub or no?
No, it wasn't a snub. I don't think so. I think that he put 3 good years in. All these other guys put in more than 3 good years. Obviously, Russell Wilson is the best quarterback on this list. Matt Hasselbeck got you to a Super Bowl as well. No, I think maybe if Geno had maybe 3 more years in this whole deal, then it would be different. But no, I think it was perfect.
I thought it was fair too.
Yeah.
I think Geno, as part of just his, I don't want to say legacy, but like how we'll remember him here in Seattle. Some people will remember him and not like him. Others will think he was underrated. I think he's going to be one of the more polarizing quarterbacks here. But I think that the theme will be generally under-recognized. Like, generally is going to seen as like, no, you never did much with Geno, but played behind a bad offensive line.
He did a lot with Geno.
Yeah.
He is, 12,961 yards. Jim Zorn had 20,000. Craig had 26,000. Hasselbeck had 29. Russell had 37. I mean, it's production, and it wasn't here enough years to catch these guys. He is the 5th leading passer of all time at this franchise.
Running backs, Sean Alexander, Marshawn Lynch, Max Strong, and fullbacks, obviously, Max Strong, John L. Williams, Chris Warren, Kurt Warner. Curtis said Ricky Waters.
Yeah, Ricky is right there. He's behind John Williams by 500 yards. He does have more touchdowns than him. I don't know much about John Williams. I can't even front or pretend like it. I know more
he
about
was
Ricky.
Mostly a fullback, but was pretty prolific in terms of his production out of that spot. He had a lot of receptions as a fullback.
Overall solid list.
Yeah, we know Kurt Warner is one of the godfathers, and Sean Alexander, of course. Yeah, I think they got this right. Number 5 all-time rushing leader at with the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, 4,600.
Man. Wide receivers, this one released the other day. Doug Baldwin, Brian Blades, Bobby Ingram, Darrell Jackson, Steve Largent, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. This one a little more controversial.
No Joey.
You have a lot of choices.
Joey's in there?
No Joey.
So Joey's right behind Bobby Ingram when it comes to yards. He does have 37 touchdowns, though, to Bobby Ingram's 18. Bobby has 4,800 yards. Joey has 4,400 yards. How about the catches? You look at catch percentage. His was 48. We're talking about Joey.
Yeah.
And Bobby Ingles was 66. Receptions, Bobby had 399 and Joey had 283. I mean, other than touchdowns, Bobby outperformed him.
I know. I don't know that I would throw. I thought Joey Galloway would be on this list. And I think if you had one more name, you're putting Joey Galloway on the list, and there's not a question.
Yeah.
That being said, it is a little surprising. I mean, Joey Galloway had 3 seasons of over 1,000 yards with you in 5 years spent with your team. I wondered if it was. A lot of guys on this list played with bad 90s teams, but if it was playing with bad 90s teams combined with Joey Galloway began his career with you and then spent more time between 4 other teams as opposed to 5 years with you, and obviously left with some less than stellar relationships.
Yeah, feelings got hurt on the way out.
Yeah.
But still, I think it would be like if DK Metcalf had never signed a second contract with you. Like, let's say you picked up a 5th-year option. So DK, you wouldn't with a second rounder. But let's say DK somehow gets 5 years with you and then moves on and then has a separate career. It would be like that. Like, Galloway set a ton of records as a rookie that were, ironically, later broken by DK. But I think it's just moving on and spending the bulk of your NFL career with someone else.
Yeah. I went down the list and found Brian Walters and myself. Brian is at 176. I'm at 181, so we barely missed it.
But I love that you guys are together. Yeah, that's so cool. I think you guys should suit up and get back out there. And I think in a game or two, yeah, we can wrap it up and have one of you ahead.
Now, I don't know if in the voting tight ends were listed with wide receivers or on their own, but there was no tight end on the entire 50th anniversary team. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
let me see. Who's the?
Not wrong.
The
Who
most
would you put on
prolific
it?
is Jimmy Graham.
Who would you put on it?
Jimmy, and then there's
There's no
Mealy.
one.
Mealy is at 24.
But even I don't think anybody is going out there marching around Seattle saying Atula Mealy is the greatest Seahawks tight end ever.
And somewhere is someone who's still obsessed with the 2013 team or that era of Seahawks football going, what about Zach Miller? To which I would say, really cool guy, really likable guy, respected veteran, important piece of that team, good blocker. Not one of the best tight ends all time. Sorry. No offense to Zach Miller. Again, great guy award. But this team has not knocked it out of the park with tight ends. And the best tight end they've ever had, they neither drafted nor retained after the end of his deal here.
Yeah. Tight end. This is not tight end you here.
Oh, that's a good takeaway. Do you think that they start to change that?
I'll tell you one thing. The tight ends were impressive yesterday, too. I got to show them some love. Barner looked good. Arroyo looked good. Yeah, there's some potential in that group.
Someone said Jeremy Stevens. What about Jeremy Stevens?
I don't want anything to do with that guy.
No.
That guy's bad news.
I just, again, it's a good takeaway, Curtis. No tight ends, and I'll talk all day, so I'll make myself stop and move on to other position groups about this team's struggles at tight end.
Yeah, Jeremy Stevens is 33rd with 130 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 15 touchdowns.
Offensive line, I took no issue with Edwin Bailey, Chris Gay, Steve Hutchinson, Walter Jones, Brian Millard, Robbie Tobeck, Max Unger. Yeah.
Big Ray.
Okay, yes.
His top 10 pick.
Come on.
Defensive line, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, Joe Nash, Michael Sinclair, Jeff Bryant, Cortez Kennedy, Jacob Green, Brandon Mebane. No issue for me.
No issues at all.
Nope. It's so weird? I'm just pausing before I keep it moving. You know what? Actually, let me keep it moving because this is relevant for the point. Linebackers, Chad Brown, Keith Butler, Rufus Porter, Lofa, Tutubu, Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Fred Young. DBs, Dave Brown, Eugene Robinson, John Harris, Earl Thomas, Kenny Easley, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Marcus Trufant, Devin Witherspoon, Michael Dixon, and John Ryan make it to the specialist. Shout out. So again, a snub, if you could classify it as one, would probably be Joey Galloway. No tight ends or kickers made the team, both specialists or punters. Here's my takeaway here. I wanted to finish reading the defensive players. Huge chunk of this list from that era of Seahawks football.
Mm-hmm.
God, yeah. If
huge chunk.
I would hate to see what this list would look like pre-Legion of Boom era, because you're talking about a quarter of the team of this 50th anniversary team came from that era.
From one team. And I know it's like over separate eras, but essentially from one Seahawks team.
I believe every position group is represented by the Legion
The Super
of Boom.
Bowl team.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because Max Unger, even though offensive line in that era was not so hot, he was the starting center on the Super Bowl team.
I think it speaks to both how unreal the construction of that team was and like the props that you have to give them building it up and then on those players for meeting the moment and meeting their expectations. But then how silly it feels for people to talk about just recreating it.
You're never going to recreate it. That era was something special, and I think the further we get away from it, the more special it becomes because you realize just how difficult it is to get that many Ring of Honor potential Hall of Famers on one team.
All right, coming up next, heading to OTAs. Just kidding, we did this yesterday. Seahawks linebacker Tyrice Knight joins us. Don't go anywhere.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
In Cal, you're seeing a superstar start to develop. He's starting to get that national recognition. It's always been, when you talk about the Mariners, you'd sort of talk about the rotation as a whole. Sure. Talking about an individual, it's been Julio. And it feels like Cal is starting to move into that spot. Now, here's the thing. Neither, by baseball standards, are being paid as a superstar.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. Heading to the ball game? Don't mess with traffic and pricey parking fees. Make it easy and ride the bus. It's affordable and convenient. No stress, no hassle. And plenty of time to grab a hot dog before first pitch. Community Transit makes riding the bus fun, easy, and affordable. You save money on parking, and kids under 18 ride for free. See where they can take you and plan your trip today. Go to Community Transit at ctgo.org/home run.
Need a new roof, a deck, siding, windows? Get up to $3,000 off any new installation. Hi, it's Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Home projects can add up fast, but we're here to help you save big. Book now and lock in up to $3,000 off in savings. That's $3,000 off any new installation. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
If you've ever wondered if there's something after death, Tyler Henry proves the answer is yes. Be part of his live audience readings and his jaw-dropping ability to connect with the departed at Muckleshoot Event Center, Thursday, July 10th and Friday, July 11th at 8 p.m. Experience this evening of hope and healing, bringing peace and closure to loved ones. Tyler Henry proves our loved ones never leave us. Get tickets at MuckleshootCasino.com.
Muckleshoot. Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Hold up a sec. If I work today, why should I have to wait 2 weeks to get my money? With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors available in select states. Expedited transfer is available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
Hey 12, Steve Rabel here, voice of your Seattle Seahawks. The wait is over, and tickets are on sale now for our historic 50th season. This season is going to be legendary, with past, present, and future colliding at Lumen Field. Get your tickets today at Seahawks.com/tickets.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Pacers upset the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. Tyrice Halliburton hit the game winner with 0.3 seconds left, a shot that also gave the Pacers their first lead of the game. OKC forced 24 turnovers, 20 in the first half, but struggled with the 3. Pacers, meanwhile, 6 for 10 there in the fourth. It finally happened. Aaron Rodgers will sign a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesport.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. First and 15 for Rodgers, back at his own 40. Hand off to Hall, straight ahead. Has a gap. Out across midfield, ball is out. Picked up by the Seahawks, looking for running room. It's Tyrice Knight who picks up the ball. Seahawks have it at their own 41-yard line. Recovered by the defense. Tyrice Knight, who's always around the ball, picks this one up.
Joined right now by Seahawks linebacker Tyrice Knight. Tyrice, I wanted to start with something a little unconventional here. In 2017, in October, you were 16, right? You were born in 2000, December, right?
Nah, Google got my birthday wrong.
Google got your birthday? Well, Wikipedia needs to fix that, first of all. What's your real birthday?
No. I born no.
Okay.
But
well,
I'll take 2000.
2000, okay. Well, you were a teenager, and you were in high school, and you have an article about what you love about playing football.
I do?
Yes, you do. And I'm going to read your quote to you. So a 16 or 17-year-old Tyrice said, "Hitting is fun when you put people on the ground. I like hitting because I never go backwards. I haven't been ran over yet. I don't think that'll happen. I like to create fumbles and make the crowd go wild." Do you still feel exactly that way?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Of course.
No doubt. You know, a linebacker, you don't never want to go backwards. And, like, my philosophy is you got to bring the contact enough for them bringing to you, and just going forward, just going to make a good statement on your end. So I just try to keep that same mentality.
Man, I get excited when football season starts to come out here and see you guys do your thing. But it has to be kind of frustrating for that second and first level because y'all don't get to, hit the way you really want to. So what do you work on, since you're not able to be the physical young 17-year-old you were in that quote?
Just fundamental, just hand placement, working on block discretion and block release, just all the little things that could just go transfer over to when you get passed on. So just right now, just emphasize again off blocks, make sure you locate the ball, just take shots at the ball. So that's something we've been working on since the first day of OTAs.
Yep.
Yeah, you had your head on right for this article. I'm just a laid-back guy. I don't try to mess with the cheerleaders and stuff. I just focus on football. What a 16-year-old Tyrice. Just listen, I don't date a lot. I just focus on football. Are you still really low-key? Like off the, season isn't ongoing. What do you do?
What do you mean, like?
Like play video games. Are you at home? Do you like going out?
I'll go out and people let me know they're going out. Now, of course, I'll go join the fun. But other than that, I like to be chilling, playing a game, just relaxing, trying to recover and get ready for the next day.
Yeah.
And the laid back part, I'm still laid back. The coach
Yeah.
is still trying to get me to open up more. But, you know, personality is personality.
Yep. My journey with the Hawks was a little different, right? I was undrafted, practice squad guy. And I remember I was sitting back in Pullman, that's where Washington State is. And the team was on the road with the Buffalo Bills, and I saw a receiver go down. And I'm like, man, I might get the call next week. So I got the call next week, and I was ready to go. What was your situation like? Because, you know, before there were a couple linebackers here, and then you stepped in with Ernest and kind of did your thing. Like, what was that transition like from being a guy that had to stay ready to a guy who every single week you knew you was going to be running out the tunnel and being with the ones?
But, you know, early in the year last year when Bate got hurt, I was playing like 3 games, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Lions. Now, after that, I had stopped playing for 3 weeks. But, you know, the coach still was on me, like, prepared and still, like, be focused, watch film, and still take notes like I was a starter. And, like, when everything turned around, like, everybody was surprised. Like, I didn't know what was going on until the coaches really told everybody. But, you know, I still kept the same mentality, still focusing and working hard, and just, like, though all 3 weeks I didn't play, that prepared me and got me ready for the last 9 weeks that I played towards the end of the last year. So if I didn't do what I did, who knows how things would have turned out.
Right.
I think I did a pretty good job last year when I stepped in.
I would agree, for sure.
What's you spent a lot of time with Ernest, I'm assuming, in that linebacker room. What's he like?
That's game. That's twin. You know, before when he got here last year, before we started playing together, we had a connection off the field. So I know once we got on the field, it would be like bread and butter, you know. We just feel like we work the same way. We just move the same way, just operate the same procedure. So, like, you know, it's a good thing when, you know, you go with somebody off the field and just on the field gonna make things way easier. Like, we really know what each other think before it happens, just on the screen, man.
What's the mentality like of the defense this year? Because last year you guys finished on a high note. Like, you guys were playing like a top 5 defense. Does it feel different walking into this facility, kind of riding the wave from last year? Like, what's the mental of this defense?
Just, you know, everybody just betting on for last year. Like, we know what we're capable of. We know what we can produce week in and week out. And just, like, everybody just getting more comfortable with the defense, start playing way more faster. So everybody, I know the whole defense feeling the same way. This year going to be real scary. And we play on the same level we can. We just know everything just going to continue to go our way.
So you are, I take it, one of the more reserved people on defense. Because defensive guys, talkers.
Yeah.
So who's the talker? Like, who's the big talker?
Oh, Spoon.
Oh, easy.
I know. Yeah. I didn't really need to ask because I was standing next to, it was Spoon, Julian, a couple other guys, and I swear every play, it doesn't matter what's happening.
Just talking.
Just everything. Yeah. He reminded me a little bit of like when it was Quandre and Ryan Neal here.
Yeah.
Constantly talking.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, in defense too, you guys got to talk, you know, communicating the strengths and all that good stuff. Is the game slowing down for you? I mean, it didn't seem like it was fast for you last year, but obviously going into your second camp, like how's the game looking for you on that second level?
Just for sure, you know, I just get more comfortable with, like, you know, you not knowing what you're doing, you can't play fast. So just me knowing the defense way more allowed me to play how fast I know I was playing before I came here. So I just take it upon me to continue to improve on everything from A to Z and just keep getting the playbook, stay hard on the field, just listen to all the coaching tips that everybody can give me. That'll continue to improve my game.
Did you make any other changes in the off season? Like, I remember interviewing a player once who would like cut out certain things from his diet or maybe work with a different trainer. Anything different for you?
No, I mean, I was training down in Miami, but for sure I had cut down a few pounds. I feel way lighter and like just feel like I'm way better at a better standpoint from like run defense and pass coverage. So just everything that the off season allowed me to have good OTAs out there right now, including the off season workouts we did here. Played a huge part.
We spoke to Cooper yesterday, and he said he went up to Coach McDonald's office, and he said Coach was geeking out on some of the new stuff that he's trying to put into this defense. I know you can't tell us exactly what it is.
But you should.
But how is his creativity helping this defense take it to another level?
Just everybody on defense versatile. Feel like we got a lot of packages going there, a lot of different things. It's just like once everybody get like to that certain point that coach wanted to get at, defense is gonna be too crazy. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be fun this year.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the off-season changes. We're having a sports, non-sports back and forth. You mentioned you lighten up and you feel lighter out there, faster, which is amazing. And you guys look great out there. What did you cut out anything specifically? And I'm asking because I was thinking of your Mount Rushmore food, which was horrible. You know, like your Tyrese. No, let's ask Tyrese. Tyrese,
What's your Mount Rushmore? If you had to choose 4 food things, and it can be a whole category like pizza, any pizza, but your 4 things where you're like, I could not live without this. Or maybe some things that you had to cut out, but your 4 favorite things.
That I can't live without.
Can't live without.
For sure, number 1, oxtails. All types of chicken, the way you can cook it. Gotta have the veggies.
Veggies?
Gotta have the veggies.
All right.
Gotta have the
Okay.
veggies. I'd probably say protein.
Protein.
See, that was an
Oxtail, you Jamaican?
Nah.
Nah, just like
Florida,
oxtail.
though.
Oh, Florida, yeah.
Oxtails,
Yeah,
that's
for
the
sure.
best thing, if you made it right.
Yeah, my Mount Rushmore was a lot different than yours because I'm done playing, so I just eat garbage.
It was wild.
It was like tacos, pizza, orange chicken,
Lasagna.
and
I
lasagna.
ain't really a pizza type of guy.
Nah?
I eat it if it's there, but I ain't finna just say, I'm finna get some pizza.
Yeah, not a pizza guy. All right, all right.
That's wild.
What's it? How's it been with the new guys? Are you the type of guy to kind of, take them under your wings and kind of show them the way, or are you kind of just a lead by example type of dude?
Pretty much a lead by example, but if I see somebody need a little help or encouragement, of course I'm going to offer it. Cause like last year, I was in their shoes, so I know how it feels to come in. You got a lot of things on your shoulder, a lot of things going around, a lot of defense putting in, so I know how I can get, but I'm helping guys out.
Yep.
You, I know, probably do spend the most amount of time with, obviously, your fellow linebackers, your position coach, but have you talked a bit more with, like, Ad and Dirty, with Mike McDonald, maybe gotten to know them more as coaches? What can you tell us about them?
For sure, Coach AD. He expects a lot from me. He see the potential, so of course he give me tips and stuff every day, just help me improve my game, like talking to me pre-practice, post-practice, and during practice, just trying to help me elevate my game. So he was somebody for sure I spent a lot of time in the offseason. And of course, Mike, he will give me a bone to pick every now and then, so I'm taking the input from him as well.
All right, you've had a year here in Seattle. What's one of your favorite things to do out, amongst the people when you're not, reading runs and dropping into zones and stuff?
Everybody, I love the pike place.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple weeks ago, first night I had the clam chowder down there.
Okay.
That was a good thing.
It was good?
That lobster was the best.
All right.
First night having chowder too, so.
See, I don't eat seafood, so I don't. I just take your word for it.
You were nodding along so politely, though.
I mean, because everyone says that, so I'm
That's
like,
wandeful.
it must be good because everyone I talk to, they say the same thing.
When was the last time you had any seafood?
I tried. I probably went to visit my dad in Mississippi, like in 12 or something like that.
Bump.
Yeah, I had like lobster or something like that. I've tried
Tyrice was a
everything.
child.
Allergic?
Nah, I just don't like it. I just taste seawater. It just messes my mind up. I can't get past it.
I think you got to try it just one more time, though. 2012 was a long time
One
ago.
more time?
Yeah.
All right. I give
Just
one
say
more.
you just down. You probably go throw up though.
Yeah.
You didn't eat it that long.
It's mentally. It's a mental
Yeah.
game now. You know what I'm saying? I smell it, and it just makes my body feel all weird.
You know what I do that with for some reason is white chocolate. I don't know if I ate too much of it, but I know it's good in
Got a
theory.
little Hershey's cookies and cream. That's the best one.
I like Oreos, right?
Yeah.
Like the cookies and cream flavor. I can't touch white chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
Do you have anything
So
where
get
you're
off
like,
of
I
me
don't
on
know what it
seafood.
is?
Oh, dark chocolate.
Just none. It's too bitter.
Just
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First taste. We ain't
It's
doing
just
that.
not for me.
Don't even pass it to me.
What's it like for you guys when the schedule is released? Like, do you look at it and kind of go through, who you're facing and stuff, or is it just the typical athlete, like just 1 week, focus on that and get through it?
For sure, like right now, you're looking at who you're facing, but when the season get here, you're taking week by week, not worry about what's ahead of you. So, for sure, best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Do you do it in a way of like, I always thought from the fan point of view, because I never played, oh, you're looking at teams that you want to face. But then a lot of guys will be like, no, I'm looking for teammates. Like, I'm looking for friends. You go to the city. Is that kind of how you've looked at it, where you're like, hey, I know someone who plays for this team? Or
Yeah, for sure. Like Jaguars, my homeboy back home, he played linebacker, so I'm looking forward to that game. Good jersey swap. But
seeing family, probably.
yeah, and then for sure, family can come to that Jacksonville game. Of
Yeah.
course, the Atlanta game. So there's of course games I look forward to for people can make the trip. So that's that point.
So you said you stay in Florida.
Yeah.
It's the longest flight in America you're making from Florida to Washington. Did your family get a chance to come out next or last season?
Yeah,
see play?
they came to the Titans preseason and Falcons game, but a lot of family, my homeboys and stuff flew in for a lot of games here, so most of them, they're like grown-ups for real.
Yep.
All right, he is Seahawks linebacker Tyrice Knight. Thank you for taking the time. We know you're fresh out of practice. You're ready to get out of this.
Trying to watch that film.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Trying to watch the film. Well, speaking of Devin talking all the time, the second you guys turn and look at the play-by-play, it's just always talking trash right there, too. Yeah. Tyrice, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1. God bless the Indiana Pacers. They stunned OKC in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with a 111-110 victory. Here's how Tyrese Halliburton's game winner sounded.
The Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrese Halliburton does it again. Their first lead of the game.
What is the real headline?
If only the Pacers could teach this year's Mariners how to be clutch.
Ooh. Well, Cal's good. Everybody else.
Yeah.
Y'all be
Cal's
clutch.
clutch.
Randy had a couple moments, but I feel you. Y'all be clutch. Yeah, this was a great game. And I was watching, my brother works at this spot, Side Hustle, in Bothell. And it was like just me and a few other people, and we're watching this game go down. And it was fun, man. Like I said, it has a college type of feel. The best part about Halliburton hitting that game winner is that his dad stayed in his seat. He didn't celebrate too much. He was calm. It's like, okay, you've learned your lesson. You've learned your lesson, sir. Stay in your seat and just celebrate like most dads do. But yeah, good for the Pacers. I did not expect this. SGA had 38, but he took like 30 shots. Chet Holmgren didn't show up. He's been the key to OKC's success. When he drops 15 to 20 points, they typically win. But no, I did not expect this. I had OKC winning in game 1, but, didn't go down.
From USA Today, they had a couple wild stats on this game. How about this one? For the first time in almost 15 months, the last time being Tuesday, March 12, 2024, the Thunder lost at home to an Eastern Conference team. Their opponent that night, March 12, 2024, the Indiana Pacers. It was also the largest comeback, fourth largest fourth quarter comeback. That was a tongue twister. In an NBA final since 1971. That was a long time ago. From Ramona Shelbourne, this season, Tyrese Halliburton has hit 13 for 15 game-tying or game-winning shots in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime, which is the best in a single season since play-by-play was first tracked in 96.
Yeah, my man is clutch. The last, 3 or 4 minutes, OKC only scored 6 points. He's a weird type of player because I watch people debate about him and trying to see if he's crown him as a superstar or not. I don't think he's a superstar, but he's a rising star in this game. His game is unorthodox. It looks a bit funky, but it works for him, man, and he is clutch. They crowned Jalen Brunson as the NBA Clutch Player of the Year. If we push that into the playoffs, you got to look at Halliburton and say that crown belongs to him.
Question for you and Curtis. Did this game, in which OKC was favored by almost 10, did this game change your opinion of whether or not the Pacers could get this done? Because both of you have, like everyone else, including Vegas, favored OKC in this matchup.
I still think OKC gets it done, but they definitely made it more interesting. I didn't expect them to walk into OKC and win that ball game. But, man, it's a 7-game series. I think OKC still gets it.
I think it's going to be a much more competitive series than we all kind of anticipated prior to Game 1. I think a lot of people saw this series either being a sweep or end in 5. But you punch the opponent in the mouth the way Indiana did last night, steal a game from them. I mean, worst case scenario for Indiana now, it goes 5. It likely goes 6. I can see both teams still winning another game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, anytime you got to go back to where the series started in Game 6, like that's going to be tough. So I'm excited that last night kind of showed, hey, Indiana's not going to back down. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, everybody here in Seattle.
Last question, this one about OKC. SGA with 38 points. A phenomenal game from him. Obviously missed a final shot that would have put them ahead, giving Halliburton that chance to win the game. But that being said, he was the star, unsurprisingly, for OKC. How did OKC lose? What happened?
I mean, you get out rebounded in the paint, turnovers and whatnot. Like, when you lose 111 to 110, I mean, what do you really point at? It just
Right.
comes down to executing late in the game, and that's what they didn't do.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, our long national nightmare is over. Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's the real headline?
The 2 most predictable stories have come to a close this week. Aaron's getting with Pittsburgh while Don and Elon have split. I'm sorry. I don't care where you fall on the political spectrum. That was predictable, was it not? Like you knew that those two would get into a fight. You knew that it would come to a head. And we all knew that Aaron would end up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and yet these were the 2 stories. I mean, it's just been nonstop coverage.
Donnie and Elon are beefing like 2 middle school girls with Twitter at their thumbs. So y'all keep that up. It's entertaining. But we knew Aaron Rodgers was going to. I told you this was going to go down, Stacy. I'm back into the mix as far as our bet. Aaron Rodgers will have a better season than Russell Wilson. And it'll be all good. But listen, I'm glad that he got it done before the mandatory camp. I don't know why he waited so long. I don't know what the conversations were like. They probably knew this was going to go down the whole time. But I'm interested to see how Mike Tomlin handles this, because you don't treat him like the average quarterback, but you also don't give him the power that he had with the New York Jets. What's that relationship going to be like? If there's any place or any organization I think can handle Aaron Rodgers at this point, it has to be Pittsburgh. There's too much tradition. There's too much order over there. Let's see how this thing unfolds.
Here's my question for us here with Aaron Rodgers. We've talked plenty about what Rodgers could mean to the Steelers, playing with DK, all of that, because we've always known like that's the only place he's going to go if he does play. I thought he'd retire and like start some podcast company. I don't know. But Adam Schefter tweeted out, this is yesterday, Pittsburgh packs its own personal revenge tour for Aaron Rodgers. On that personal revenge tour are the Jets, the Packers, of course, Bears, Lions, and then he has the Seahawks. Listen, if we're saying the revenge against the Seahawks is the 2014 championship game or maybe the Hail Mary, that was over a decade
too long ago.
I'm sorry, he's been with there have been games played, many games played between these 2 teams since then. What do you mean revenge tour?
Yeah, we played them last year.
You got to get over
Pick 6,
it.
Leo Williams. Let's go.
You know?
That's a stretch there. I don't think that's a revenge. Part of the revenge tour.
I don't know what kind of revenge we're talking about with the Seahawks that hasn't already been played. I mean, in 2022 or 19 or whatever, like maybe it would have been a little bit relevant.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, a day after saying he'd do the home run derby if asked, Cal Raleigh told Mina Kimes he would play in the 2026 World Baseball Classic in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. So I feel like that's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you know. Obviously with that and the stage, and you saw, you know, what it was like the last time with
so great.
The whole Mike Trout, Ohtani, and how many people were tuning in and how good it was for baseball. I'd love to do that.
So what's the real headline?
And Bump's heart will skip a beat if Cal gets hurt. First the home run derby, now the World Baseball Classic.
World Baseball Classic is different.
Oh.
That's some national pride right there. That's different. That's different. You do that.
Wait.
The home run derby is just an exhibition. It's just for fun. It's for fun in the middle of the season, right? So you go represent your country. It's different when you represent your country. It's different.
Bump.
It's different. This is.
Wow.
I mean, listen, I get what you're saying in theory. Like, oh, there's just more to play for. Like, it's it's not as common an opportunity. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
These are the same to me in my mind.
It's more exhibition.
It's more exhibition.
It is, but it's not in the middle of a season.
Oh,
remember how we were talking about Teoscar Hernandez and Julio not getting their required at-bats because they were playing in the World Baseball Classic? Man, I think of the discourse next April if Cal gets off to a slow start. Oh, you didn't get enough at-bats in the World Baseball Classic.
Are you more likely to get hurt in the World Baseball Classic or anything leading up to it or in the home run derby?
I wasn't talking about getting hurt. I'm talking about him resting during the All-Star weekend. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't say nothing about him getting hurt. Now, you go out, you got a chance to play for your country. That is completely different. If the U.S. swim team hit you up right now, is like, Stacy, we need you to help with this USA swim team, you're going to do it. It's USA. So that was my angle.
Someone said it's about DK getting revenge on the Seahawks, not Rodgers. Now, listen, if Adam Schefter would have said DK Metcalf's revenge tour, then sure. But it says for its quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. It is more about DK. That's the real.
Yeah,
headline.
like I understand that if someone was like, a revenge game for DK, I can see the context with that. Not an idiot. But for Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't quite resonate the same way. I don't
bet
think
you
it quite makes
DK
sense.
just got some pressure off of his back, man, with the signing of Aaron Rodgers because, he got his money, but he wants the ball, and he gives him the greatest opportunity to do that.
But this is Adam Schefter saying Aaron Rodgers is getting revenge on a team that knocked him away from a Super Bowl. Like, he's very specifically talking about Rodgers and presumably about the championship game, or Hail Mary in that one. Coming up next, one of the Seahawks legends, Chad Brown, joins us. Don't go anywhere.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's not good.
Back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:40. Lyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
June is Men's Health Month, and we want to place a special emphasis on prostate cancer awareness and treatment. It's important for men to communicate about issues relating to their health, especially family health history. Prostate cancer has been in the news, and right now I'm joined by Dr. Landis from the Swedish Cancer Institute. Dr. Landis, how common is prostate cancer?
Prostate cancer is very common. About 1 in 8 men will develop prostate cancer here in the U.S. That ends up being about 300,000 cases per year.
How can men test for prostate cancer?
Well, first thing, patients should ask to have PSA screening from their primary care doc. Anyone 50 or over, and if you have a family history starting at 45 is pretty typical.
If diagnosed, why should patients seek out Swedish CyberKnife for treatment?
What we hear from patients all the time is that treatment really was amazing. They didn't have to take time off of work. The side effects are really minimal, and there was minimal interruption in their lives.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
Our first Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, why did you make the call to First Mark Insurance?
My company has grown to a space where we need a higher level of coverage. A couple of factors led me to say, boy, I really need to find something new, and First Mark really rang that bell.
First Mark save you and your business money?
Oh, yeah. They have decreased overall expense in a couple categories by up to 30%, coverage in a couple of areas by greater than 50%. They've offered coverage in 2 new categories that I think are pertinent for my business, and they've greatly impacted what that coverage and those margins look like.
Kind of wish you made the call earlier.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Happy Friday. Mariners looking to bounce back on the road against the Angels. Pregame coming up at 5:30 here on Seattle Sports. First pitch at 6:38 p.m. Coming up at 12:45, we're going to take a look around the NFL. We've got some news on the Commanders. Interesting situation happening right now in Indy with Anthony Richardson injured and bumped. That was already a sticky situation to begin OTAs because Daniel Jones is no slouch. We make fun of Danny Dimes quite a bit, but that was going to be an interesting quarterback battle happening there. So we'll see what's happening with Richardson's injury and what's happening with that quarterback battle. We've also got some stuff from Derek Carr and maybe in Baltimore, a Lamar Jackson extension. Talk about breaking the bank.
They better sign a life contract for him.
You might as well.
Or that Peyton Manning contract.
That
lifetime.
is one of the most perfect fits of quarterback skill and then scheme, coaching, everything. All right, but we're not there yet. That's going up to 12:45. Right now, he spent 8 years with the Seahawks from 97 to 2004. He's fourth all-time in franchise history in linebacker sacks, two-time first-team All-Pro, three-time Pro Bowler, and part of the Seahawks' 50th anniversary team. It's linebacker Chad Brown joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Hey, Chad, how's it going?
I am fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Good. We're happy to have you here. How'd you get the news? Did someone from the Seahawks contact you?
Yes. Mo Kelly was one of the vice presidents over there with the Seahawks, one of my former teammates. He contacted me about a week and a half ago. Asked me to keep the secret, which I was able to do. But it's certainly an amazing honor. And now that I know the full 50 guys on the team, to be included with such great players is just a very outstanding part of my NFL career.
Yeah, we saw the list and lots of great names in there, including yours. But I want to ask you just about your 98 and 99 season, back-to-back Pro Bowls. You had 149 tackles one year, 116 the other year. What was your game like back then? What was the game of football like back then when you look at it compared to now?
Oh, wow. Obviously, rules have changed. Coaching has changed. Techniques have changed. The way the game is played and called has changed. Even back then, and even to now today, there's a certain place for physicalities. There's a certain place for being willing to play harder than your opponent. And so I've always recognized since I started playing football, tackle football, when I was 9 years old. But I was not the biggest, and I was not the fastest, and I certainly was not the strongest. So what am I going to do to get an edge over guys who are bigger, stronger, or faster? I guess I'll just be willing to play harder than they can play. And so that became something that I included in my game when I became a Pittsburgh Steeler. And then I brought that to Seattle with me. And so no matter what the game was or who the opponent was on the other sideline, when that game was over, I wanted to say, people to say who watched the game or coaches who were watching tape, you know what, that 94 was the hardest playing dude on the football field. Maybe not the biggest, maybe not the fastest, maybe not even the smartest, but that dude plays hard. So that was always my goal.
What do you kind of appreciate or like about the game now when you watch it or analyze it? And what do you think it's missing, or what do you personally miss about it?
Well, the game always goes in cycles. And so I love the fact that there's really no way to cheat the game. So despite, ever-changing rules, football always has the owners' meetings where they're tweaking rules and they're going to emphasize this particular penalty or that or the other, that the folks who are deeply ingrained in football, the coaches, the GMs, the best players, find ways to be successful. So you're always asked to modify what you did. And what you did last year doesn't do anything for you this year. It doesn't even buy you a cup of coffee. You got to go out and reprove it again this year. I think that's one of the great things about football. But going back to my comment about cycles within the game, the rules have favored passing so much that the game has really become a passing game. But now we're starting to see teams that are recognizing, well, everyone's given all their resources to the passing game. We can be able to carve a niche for ourselves or for our team if we play great defense and we run the football effectively, which is something that Pete Carroll certainly brought, particularly early in his tenure to the Seahawks. My Pittsburgh Steelers teams, they played that way. But I see teams now beginning to recognize that there's an advantage for that. These guys who were once bypassed in the draft in favor of smaller, quicker linebackers, as an example, now with the teams that are going to be able to stop the run late in the regular season and stop the run in the postseason are going to have an advantage. So players who maybe look more like my style linebackers versus guys who were drafted 3 or 4 years ago who were 20 pounds lighter and looked like more like safeties from my day are now going to be at an advantage to have on your defense. So the cyclical nature of football is always very fascinating to me.
Who did you watch growing up, and who did you try to mimic your game after?
Gosh, of course, you talk linebackers and you talk about my childhood. You can't bypass a great player like Lawrence Taylor. The effect that he had on the game, I don't think there was another defensive player, at least in my early watching days, who I noticed could change a game. And that was something that was what made him particularly exciting for me was, okay, he's not just out there making tackles. He's changing the game. And, you think of guys like a quarterback or a star running back or a star receiver, guys who can go out there and make plays that changes the game. Well, here's now a defensive player who plays with that mindset. So I certainly tried to do my job as far as making tackles and having gap responsibility so my teammates can make plays. But I wanted to go out and make game-changing plays. So return a fumble for a touchdown, yeah, let's do that. Sack a quarterback, but not only sack a quarterback, but strip him of the ball and give my offense the ball back so we can score some points here. That changes games. So not only did I admire Lawrence Taylor as a kid, but I tried to bring some of that game-changing mentality with me into my days in the NFL.
I would imagine, Chad, that the very cool thing about being told, hey, you're part of this 50th anniversary team, or getting any of the accolades you've gotten since your playing careers is feeling like I did it. Like you accomplished so much and you're one of the most celebrated Seahawks linebackers. But if like a younger Chad, still in the midst or early parts of his career, if you were to go back to that version, what was maybe the hardest lesson to learn? Like now you've learned it, but when you were going through it, it was just tough.
I think it's still tough today. I was lucky enough to play on a Pop Warner team that won championships. In my high school, we won 32 games in a row, back-to-back championships in the state of California. I went to the University of Colorado where we won a national championship. I got a ring with a number 1 in diamonds on it somewhere in this house. So the personal accolades and the personal glory are certainly great, and it's recognition, and it signifies that other folks saw something in you that you had hoped to put out there on the field. But in the end, football is always going to be about winning. It is always going to be about winning. So while I walked away from my career without regrets, I certainly would have loved to have had a playoff win in my 8 years that I was a Seattle Seahawk. Do I think I was a part of their later success and rebuilding the culture and bringing some winning ways and some winning attitude to Seattle? I certainly think I had a hand in that. And the year after I left, of course, they go to the Super Bowl and ended up losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I felt like those were so many of those guys were guys who I was around, and guys who were drafted when I was there, and guys who I put my arm around and tried to explain what a winning culture is like. This is how the Pittsburgh Steelers do it. This is their attitude. This is the standard. This is the mantra. This is the mindset. So the fact that I was never able to be on a Super Bowl championship team, it's never going to sit okay with me. The personal glory and accolades, they're great, but there's nothing like the ultimate goal, which is winning the championship.
Well, congratulations on this accolade, 50th anniversary team for the Seattle Seahawks. He is linebacker Chad Brown. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
All right, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
We did not get a chance to ask Chad about Aaron Rodgers. I had at least one person texting and saying, please ask him, because he's still got ties, obviously, to the Steelers, clearly. But we will talk a little bit about it coming up in NFL headlines. Some other stories coming your way next.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's
Gunnar
not good.
Henderson, back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:40. Lyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino, man. Take an easy drive up I-5, get off on 260, and that's where you will find it. It's a great place to get away and to recharge. You check into their comfortable king rooms. They're spacious, free Wi-Fi, and they have tablets. You got to eat. Go downstairs, go to the steakhouse and the cantina, and you can watch some games at the Portis Bay Sports Bar. I'm a golfer. If you like golf, they got Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water everywhere. You got to be patient out there. And also, this month, every Saturday, you can win up to $5,000. They got events coming up as well. Howie Mandel's going to be there. Desperado is the Eagles tribute band, and Neil McCoy. Book your tickets at silverreefcasino.com. Go up I-5, 260. That's where you'll find it. Silver Reef Casino. It's not a secret anymore.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Do you know a woman that gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Maura Dooley here. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 11th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we are going to start with Washington. Commanders star receiver Terry McLaurin is reportedly growing frustrated. This is with the pace of how contract extensions are going, or maybe not going. Washington GM Adam Peters a few weeks ago said they wanted to get an extension done with McLaurin. So at least for Terry, that's the good news.
Is it about time to get the Terry deal done? Where are we at?
Ooh, good question.
Where are we on the Terry
We love
clock?
Terry. Love Terry, and you know we've had some really good conversations with his representatives. We're going to keep those in-house, Kay. That's what Sean told me to say.
I'm reading the body language, though. I don't know how. You're feeling good. It's trending in a positive
direction.
direction.
But we really, we want to make Terry a commander for a long time.
Want to make Terry a commander for a long time, but at what price, Adam? And I'm guessing that's where Adam and the front office are wondering, because Terry McLaurin doesn't put up Justin Jefferson numbers. He's just an exceptional weapon and their best, frankly, on offense outside of Jaden.
And one of the most consistent receivers in the game. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, been in the game 6 years, have 5 1,000-yard seasons, 13 touchdowns last year. You have a franchise quarterback. You want a franchise receiver as well. Sign this man. Why is it taking so long?
Do you think that Terry McLaurin is looking? There's no way he's looking to be the highest paid receiver.
I don't think so. I mean, you should always look to be the highest paid.
Sure, but
you got to start somewhere. But I think what's the highest paid receiver getting right now? About 35?
Around there,
Justin
which is
Jefferson?
crazy because I remember when Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson were back and forth with $35 million per year,
Yeah.
and it was like setting new records for players.
Yeah, so if it's 35, let's say it's 35, man, he should be getting like 25 to $28 million a year.
Let's see, spot track wide receiver contracts. I should have pulled this up earlier. Shame on me. We already know that Jamar Chase is the leader there, and Justin Jefferson follows. CeeDee Lamb. DK Metcalf. I wonder if Terry McLaurin's looking around there. DK Metcalf, 4th overall. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5th. Brandon Ayuk, 6th. That was a contract that hasn't ended up working out very well since Brandon's been injured. T. Higgins at 7.
Well, if I'm him, I'm trying to get more money than DK because I've
Yeah.
been more consistent. And I've had like 18 different quarterbacks thrown to me.
So maybe 134 overall contract value. Average annual salary, let's say 33.5
Yeah.
is probably what he's looking at then, or what he'll end up getting if that's the case. Next story, Anthony Richardson will miss Colts minicamp with a shoulder issue. That's from Indy head coach Shane Steichen, who talked about it at OTAs.
All right, I'll start off. Last week in practice, Anthony sustained an injury in his throwing shoulder. Felt some pain in it. Doctors, trainers checked it out. He's got some aggravation in his AC joint. So we're going to set him out this week. Obviously, he'll sit out for mini camp. We'll see when he comes back. Not going to put a timetable for training camp on it. But when he does come back, we'll ease him into throwing, and then we'll go from there.
What's this actually mean for a quarterback battle? Was there ever truly going to be one between him and Danny Dimes?
Definitely. I think so. If you look at their career, Danny Dimes has had a more successful career. He's been to the playoffs and has been healthy. His first year, Anthony Richardson, 4 games. His second year, 11 games. Only completing 50% of his passes right now, 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. This could go down as one of the biggest reaches of all time because his numbers at Florida were not great. He only completed 50% of his passes there. Only played in like 16 games his whole career. This is it's not looking good. So hopefully he gets healthy and he can get back into the battle. It doesn't sound like it's anything too serious, but there's definitely a competition over there. Danny Dimes has played some good football.
Anthony Richardson, it's such an interesting year because he was often talked about as a top target. At some points, he was mocked to the Seahawks, maybe because of his mobility. Anytime there's really mobile quarterbacks, because of Russell Wilson's success, people are like, maybe Seattle will be interested. And I genuinely wondered whether they'd take a shot because we knew that he wouldn't be the first quarterback off the board. But I've still been a little surprised that he hasn't evolved a little more as a passer.
I haven't.
Not at all.
I remember watching this film in college, and he would make 2 or 3 big throws, and then there were about 4 or 5 of them that you just scratched your head. Like, you see the physical talent. That's what got him here. It wasn't the processing or the actual quarterback play. It was the potential that offensive coordinators and GMs thought that they can bring out of him. Not wishing bad on the young man, but this also doesn't surprise me that the start of his career has been this way, and you just can't control injuries.
To Baltimore, Ravens GM Eric DeCosta says talks for a Lamar Jackson extension are already underway.
Well, we've had some conversations before the draft, after the draft, in person last week. I think we're in the introductory sort of stage of looking at what an extension might look like. We've got a lot of business that we're conducting with different players, and we're in a situation where we're blessed to have most of the team coming back. But as we look out over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we're trying to keep as many good players as we can. So we've got some guys that we feel like have a chance to really be prolific players for us that can be here a long time. We're trying to get as many of those guys signed up as possible. That's a big challenge, and Lamar's certainly a big part of that, but there are other players as well.
In terms of total contract value, not average salary, Lamar is currently 7th. Ahead of him, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence tied for 3rd, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
If we're talking about the individual quarterback play and everything that it comes with, not winning ball games, just performance, we might have just saw the greatest season from a quarterback. 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. By the way, a rush for 915 yards as well. Josh Allen got the MVP. I think he deserved it, but I don't think people realize how good of a season Lamar had because he wasn't able to get over the hump. You got to extend this dude, man. He's a prolific passer, and that's something that people thought he wouldn't be able to be. But he killed all that noise. Yeah, get this done, and they will get it done.
Yeah,
and you don't let a guy like Lamar
I
go.
just wonder what record it'll break. Like, I think it would not be in Baltimore's best interest to, let's say, have an average annual value that surpasses Dak Prescott's at $60 million. Like that just, Baltimore is a really smart front office, and they might instead look at, okay, Patrick Mahomes' contract value is 10 years. We're not going to give someone a 10-year contract, $450 million. Josh Allen, a 6-year deal, $330 million. Maybe if you're Lamar Jackson, you're like, fine, give me 55 per year, 56 per year. But that total contract value, let's make that 340.
Yeah. Yep.
330.
It's all about that guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Get that guaranteed.
All right. Still to come at 1:30, we've got the Farm Report. Rainiers manager John Russell joining us to talk about what it was like to tell Cole Young that news, break the news to him that he was getting called up to the Mariners. What I need to know coming up at 1:45. You can get your questions sent in anytime before that. What's sticking with us this week? Our favorite quotes and notes coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
You know, when Cal comes into work, I mean, he's a catcher. He's looking at game plans and how to get guys. So I know there's been a lot of talk about the heavy workload, but I mean, he's built for that. Some guys are just built to last.
Dan, he knows what it takes to be a catcher. He knows that life. He knows the grind and the pain in the knees and the lower back.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Spring is here and it's time to make some changes. I have a plan that has helped over 4,000 people in the Seattle-Tacoma area lose up to a pound per day. No surgery, no exercise, no box packaged food, and no drugs or injections with potential side effects. We have a team of health coaches that can support you every step of the way. Schedule your free 15-minute, no-pressure phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossklinic.com and also see our incredible before and after transformations.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here with Ryan Rowland Smith.
Thanks, Mike. I've been hearing for about 2 years now how you did the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic plan, and you lost a ton of weight. So I decided to see what the program was all about, and I'm so glad I did. So far, I've lost 30 pounds, and my only regret is not starting sooner.
Let our proven system help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. You can start our program in person at our Kirkland office or remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossklinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossklinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Spring is back. Our bats are back. Is your postnasal drip and congestion back as well? Hi, this is Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. We are a proud national center of excellence for helping hundreds of patients with Rynair. For those of you sick of searching for another allergy medication, Rynair is a minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip, congestion, and stuffiness after only one treatment. Come see us in Auburn or Federal Way. Book your appointment at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
Synthetic Turf Northwest is now open in Fife, the South Sound headquarters for premium synthetic turf. They help homeowners with a turnkey solution, DIYers, and contractors and landscapers needing quality products. With premium turf in stock, expert advice, and pro installation services, everything you need is under one roof. Visit their new showroom off I-5 in Fife, Synthetic Turf Northwest. Supplies and installation expertise all in one place. Mention radio for up to $1,000 off. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com.
We at Three Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. Three Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Wait, if I work today, why should I have to wait 2 weeks to get my money? With Earnin, you can access your pay as you work instead of waiting days and weeks for a paycheck. Get up to $150 a day with a max of $750 between paydays. No interest, no credit checks, and no mandatory fees. Because, hey, it's your money. Download the Earnin app now to get it and join millions of people making any day payday. That's EARNIN. Earnin is not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Available in select states. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Take advantage of Lake Washington Windows hot savings. $750 off per window and $1,500 off per door with leak armor installation. And enjoy 12 months same as cash financing only through June. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Pacers upset the Thunder in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. On to Game 2, but you're going to have to wait until Sunday, June 8th for tip-off at 5 p.m. from Oklahoma City. Thunder still heavy favorites. The Mariners have a series against the Angels this weekend. Game 1 starts later this afternoon at 6:40 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. What's sticking with us from this week? It's Friday afternoon. We are ready to go out, enjoy the sun, catch this Mariners game later. As the weekend wraps up on Sunday, catch Game 2 of Pacers Thunder. A lot going on. But let's go over some of the sounds, some of the sticking points, the notes that are sticking with us. We've had Seahawks OTAs. The Mariners were swept. We had some really good guests and really insightful interviews, so we'll get started with this one. Not one of our interviews, but Abe Lucas, we haven't gotten to it yet, asked if there's more of a commitment to the run.
I would just say, or I guess I'll put it like this, like we're trying to be elite at very few things, but those few things are what the offense is going to be based around, and that's the run game. We're going to be elite at the run game. Like, that's the philosophy with it. So, I mean, it's not some, hodgepodge of just a bunch of different stuff we're just throwing in, you know what I mean? We're going to be elite at the basics and make sure that they work so we can do it against anybody.
Okay, asked if there's a commitment to the run. We're trying to be elite at a few things, not a bunch of different things. That quote made the rounds.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's what my coaches tell us when we back in the day. You can't talk to kids like that anymore. But yeah, that's football. It sounds complicated, and people can make it complicated. But when you make it simple, and then you start branching off from that simplicity, that's where the offense starts to groove and move the football, and everything looks connected. But it starts with the run, and that's what linemen want to do. Even as a receiver, I used to hope that the first play of the game was a run, just so I can get in the mix and just feel the game, and we can kind of set the tone. And that's what it sounds like this offense is going to do, especially with Abe. I mean, Abe's a nice dude, right? I had plenty of conversations with him, but he's got that nasty in him too, man, and I think it's going to show.
All right, let's go on to Justin Hollander. We played this sound earlier. It's from the Starkville podcast with Jason Stark, and it was a really insightful interview, so I've got two things from Justin here. First, this one was about why they didn't trade pitching for hitting.
Because we were worried about what exactly happened, which is the moment you think you have pitching depth, you look up and you don't. And we were always like, I don't think I'm breaking news. We're not going to hang up the phone if somebody wants to call and talk about one of our players. I think that's just realistically how we have to operate in these jobs. But I think we understood the fragility of pitching, and that when you think you have it, you could look up the next day and not have it at all. And now your floor is just gone.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he was right. He said, look, we got to prepare. It's like why have just a storage full of just food in case something happens. You got to be ready for anything, Stacy. And that's what the Mariners did at this point. Now I just wish that the arms were just performing better.
I know.
It's just it's been a tough year.
One more cut here from Justin. Again, this is a fantastic interview. It's on the Starkville podcast. And if you go and listen to the Bump and Stacy podcast, we had a whole segment just talking about what we learned about it. And there's some more cuts in there. And obviously you can find it on the Starkville podcast itself. This one is more of a big picture. Justin was asked as part of this conversation, hey, yeah, you're putting together this team, but you're putting it together in a city where people are starved for their first World Series appearance, where you're facing constant criticism, and there's a lot of failure. You know what I mean? It's not in a vacuum where you're just putting together what you think would be a cool fantasy baseball team. You're working in the midst of people that are like, please do something. And Justin was asked whether he's aware of that while they're building the team.
We can't unring the bell on decisions that were made either by this group in 2017 or 18 or 19, or by previous administrations that made some really awesome decisions and maybe some not as awesome decisions. Like, all of those have already happened, and nothing we do today is going to change those. But I think it would be irresponsible of us and pretty cold to not recognize that our fan base is dying for success, that they're dying for division titles and American League pennants and things that they haven't experienced, and that we have an obligation to not just our players on the field, but to our community to do everything we can responsibly, but do everything we can to put the best product on the field. What we don't want to do is overcorrect for that and set this organization back in ways they can't recover from. But I don't really think that's a huge risk. I think our sightlines are going to be affected by the history of the franchise by small amounts. Our sightlines are mostly going to be driven by how good a team we think we have today, which I think is pretty good, and our ability to make it better, which I think is reasonable.
What'd you think?
It's a lot of words, man.
It is a lot of words.
It's just like, yeah, we know that, all right? The past is the past. You got to recognize the past. We're going to make moves, but we're not going to be crazy with our moves. Yeah, people have heard that story plenty of times. No disrespect to Hollander, but it's just, okay, we've heard this story. How about try something different and swing big once and then see what happens there? That's what people want.
Yeah.
I understand he has to be cautious because he's the guy making decisions. He's the guy helping spend the money. But, just people get tired of hearing the same stuff.
It's almost like Justin Hollander is getting into this relationship with a team that's been in some bad relationships and has a little bit of baggage.
Mm-hmm.
And part of his answer is him going, well, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I wasn't here when you missed the playoffs in 2005, 6, 7, whatever. Obviously starting since 01, or 02. But what he's saying is part of it is there's some animosity, anger, and frustration that I wasn't really part of. And I can see why fans are upset, because I don't know that I would have loved those moves either. Like, that's the too long didn't read version of what he's saying. But then, to Bump's point, there's a certain point when you got to go, well, you own it now.
Yeah.
You didn't start it, but you own this.
Sometimes less is more, too. I get he has to cover, all his bases and make sure that the message is articulated in a way that shows that he cares, but also covers the team as well. Sometimes it's just like, look, we made mistakes and we're trying to get better, and we'll do our best. And sometimes it's just keeping it simple.
I know. Maybe one of the most viral clips of the week. We're moving on to the Seahawks here. Mike Salk, after a tough day from Sam Darnold at the first day of open OTAs, asked Mike McDonald, hey, is there any way that something other than injury would prevent Sam Darnold from starting?
This is a crazy question. There's just not going to, Sam's our starting quarterback. We love him. He's doing a tremendous job. I think it's funny that the media is out there for the first day, and all of a sudden they know exactly how good we're going to be and how good all the players are and all the tempos. We don't even put on pads yet. We haven't made one tackle, and it turns out in practice, it's a great way to build culture by letting guys know that they can't make mistakes. That's exactly what we're shooting for. So go out to practice, be tight. Make sure you don't make a mistake. because then God forbid, you're the worst player of all time because you made one bad throw or one bad decision. It's like, that is not what we're trying to build. We want these guys to go prepare the right way, and then when they go out on the practice field, go freaking let it rip, and then we'll go fix it. We'll go. We got time. It's June 3rd. We'll go. Okay, they're going to get plenty of reps. We'll get those things fixed. I mean, Sam made a lot of great throws yesterday. He's gashing us on 3rd and goal to start the day out too. So yeah, that was kind of a crazy question.
Man, Salk at least knows how to ask a crazy question, because that story ended up on the cover of ESPN.
Did it really?
Not the cover, but the front page of ESPN.
Did it?
And I know there's an algorithm, but in a slow news day for the NFL, that story was all over the place.
I think that observation that Salk had, which led to the question, if the average fan was at that practice, they would probably be wondering the same thing, because it's the first time you got to see Sam Darnold, and he doesn't look like the guy that you saw during the season last year, at least before the last 2 weeks of the season. But it's also funny because if you know how the situation goes. This is how, and we get a lot of people who text in and they're like, you got to play your best guy. Why not put Drew Lock out there? I saw that today or yesterday. And look, this is the business of the NFL. If you pay somebody $36 million guaranteed, he's going to play. He's going to have to fail tremendously during the season before you even think about replacing him. This isn't back in the day where you paid Flynn, $10 to $15 million, and you got this rookie. It's a totally different situation, all right? You got a full season of Sam Darnold having success. You guarantee his first year. He's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
He can throw 10 interceptions at the next OTA. He is going to be the starter.
All right. I have 1, 2, 3.5 more pieces of sound here. Sticking with us from this week, the news that the Mariners would retire number 51 next year for Randy Johnson. Interesting sound from Johnson on the end of his time with Seattle.
For whatever reason, after I left Seattle and I was traded. I didn't walk away. I think that is something that I hear from fans still occasionally. For whatever reason, the ownership then didn't make this happen.
I never wanted to leave Seattle, despite what you may have heard, is what Randy's saying.
I don't remember him sounding like that. I had to look at the show sheet.
He's in his 60s now.
I know. It tripped me out. I had to look at the show sheet. I'm like,
Wait,
that's
who
Randy?
are we listening to?
Okay, yeah. I guess that's good to hear, Thanks for that, Randy.
No, I think what I like about this cut isn't just that everyone loves Randy Johnson, and obviously it'll be cool to honor him with that jersey retirement next year, but it's that it made me think back to a lot of the ways that player-team relationships ended and wonder in hindsight, what did we get wrong and right about that? You know what I mean? Like, do I feel differently about this player leaving now because more has come out about it? Or it's always interesting how these team-player relationships come to an end, and sometimes we tell the wrong story for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it shapes the way we see that player.
No, it's good when players to set the record straight sometimes,
Yeah.
Now, look, this is what you've heard. This is what it really is. And maybe it does change the perception that you have of the whole situation.
Okay. I got 2 more things here. This one is sticking with me. It's not an interview with us. It was on Amon-Ra St. Brown's podcast. It's Giants rookie running back Cam Scadaboo, who has no idea. He's looking at pictures during this interview who a number of prominent former NFL players are.
I got no idea who this is.
There's no way. When were you born?
2002.
He's an 02 baby. You tell me you don't know who that is. Nah, this is making me sick, bro. Wait,
I feel like I know his face, but I don't know. I can't tell you
One
his
of the
name.
best receivers to ever play the game of football. He played for the Lions.
Is Megatron?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, I'm sick.
I thought he had a little bit more chocolate to him. I thought he was a little bit more darker than that.
More chocolate to him.
The bottom one's a quarterback too?
Yep.
I have no idea who that
Brett
is.
Favre.
Brett Favre. I don't know if you've heard of him.
That's long. I mean, I've heard of him, of course, but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
Brett
I can
Favre.
see it now, but you just showed me an older picture of him. Yeah, for sure.
That should be. You grew up a Niners fan, right? That's probably one of your worst enemies as a Niners fan.
So you played on the Seahawks?
Yep.
That ain't Bobby Wagner.
Nope. Legion of Boom. Safety.
Oh, yeah. Chancellor?
Yeah.
This is frankly unforgivable. The best part is when they show him a picture of Golden Tate and he guesses Megatron again.
Yeah, that wasn't good, man.
It was bad.
You gotta know your history, man.
You have to know
where the game started and its greats, man. It's disappointing.
Which player or players, if you had to think of a couple just off the top of your head, where you're like, I don't care how old or young you are, you need to know this player if you see a picture of him.
Jerry Rice, you need to know. Walter Payton, you need to know.
Randy Moss?
Randy, you need to know.
Obviously, quarterbacks that have gone on to broadcasting.
Ray Lewis, you need to know. Joe Montana, you need to know.
If he showed him a picture of Peyton Manning or Tom Brady and he didn't know,
Manning, you need to know.
I'd be deeply concerned.
Yeah. Emmitt Smith, you need to know. Ed Reed, you need to know.
Is not knowing Cam Chancellor forgivable?
Sad. No, it's not. He played against the team that you hated. Or you hated that team.
I'm just trying to keep his age.
Know Cam.
I'm trying to keep his age
Come
into
on,
context.
Man. He's born in 02.
It's mostly unforgivable.
He was like 14 when.
It's just that
Okay,
typical
yeah,
Sun
that's
Devil
bad.
education.
Yeah, scum devils out here, not even reading
doing,
books.
Man?
Yeah,
Tony
I thought
Gonzalez, you got to know.
Well, and a lot of these guys, and this is why I said is Cam forgivable. A lot of these guys became broadcasters or commercial actors or had sponsorships. Like, I never watched Joe Montana play. I know who Joe Montana is because he's just you just see Joe Montana.
My only memory of watching Joe Montana play, I'm sure I watched him before, I obviously don't remember, was when he was with the Chiefs. I was when, early 90s or something like that?
But you would know the split second. Yeah, and there are plenty of players before your time. You never watched a number of all-time greats. You never watched a single down of football that
Dickerson,
they played.
never watched him play. I could recognize him.
Exactly. LT, I didn't watch LT play.
Yeah.
I would be able to. I watched LT in any given Sunday. Someone said, coming from an 02 baby, I would have known all of these and more.
You got to be a student of the game.
Yeah, he's not a student.
And he's not a student. He don't be studying.
Okay, last thing sticking with us this week, courtesy of Curtis Rogers, who decided to include it, was Curtis calling a Pacers Game 1 win.
I'm going to board this train. One, because I'm an OKC hater, through and through forever and ever, yes. But the Pacers' last two series against Cleveland and against New York, Game 1 was on the road, and Indiana won both of those games. I think it continues here tonight.
I would like to say that I also called a Game 1 win. And anyways, that will do it.
No, let's take a listen.
I don't think we need to. No, I don't think. I think we can just board it. Just, you know what? No, I won't.
No, you've already. You can't jump off a train. That's very dangerous.
Well, I
Stacy.
thought that we could do the opposite, all aboard, of like no one aboard, but I forgot that all aboard wouldn't ring for that. Okay, so yeah, I'll board it. No reason whatsoever. I'm just making Matt's life more difficult for the soundboard.
No, yeah,
Next up.
What else is new?
I think that was great analysis, in my opinion.
It sounded like you didn't want to go with the right answer.
It sounds like we need to get to 4 down territory. Let's go.
This is 4 down territory. Going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. What was refreshing to see at OTAs yesterday?
I see the vision. Like I literally see the vision of Kubiak and his offense. The execution, you can take it for what it is. Running backs aren't going to be tackled. Wide receivers are going to have opportunities to make plays. But I saw a wide zone. I saw a wide zone to a screen. I saw a wide zone look to a reverse boot over the top. You just see the connection from play to play to play. I saw the red zone situation where there's a fullback. I just saw things that I didn't see over the past couple seasons. I saw connection when it comes to the play calling, and I also saw a big fullback back there when you get down in the 5-yard line because you got to be physical sometimes. So no, it was just refreshing to see not necessarily new concepts, but concepts that connect and new personnel, because I think that this is exactly what this offense needs. Again, they're in pajamas. It's OTAs. Take it for what it is. But at least the vision was there, and it was fun to see it kind of unfold and watching Sam Darnold kind of get this team together.
It sounds like you're saying you're seeing, you know what a team wants to be, and you're seeing them lay out the rough draft.
Yeah.
So it feels like they can take steps that make sense. Like if I was like, oh, I'm drawing a face, and you see like an oval, and you go, okay. But if I show you like a rectangle or a triangle, you're going, okay, well, maybe I could see where this starts.
Yeah.
I can see where it's going to go. But,
Precisely.
Okay. I think when they draw faces, they might start with rectangles or triangles sometimes.
Oh, they do sometimes,
Yeah,
actually.
see, I really undermine myself. But I'm not an artist. Second down. What did you love about the defense yesterday?
I loved the chatter from the defense. And we talked about it earlier. Like the chatter when you're figuring out what side is the strength, what adjustments you're making when the offense is moving. I love that. But the chatter I'm talking about is just talking that talk, man. I mean, they are intense. They are in it. I saw Witherspoon talking. Jay Love, who's one of the nicest guys on the team, he was talking. They're yelling at the referees to make a play or don't make a play or make a call, don't make a call. They are so intense and intent with everything that they're doing right now. It's fun to watch. And it's hard. I would imagine it's hard to do that on defense when you're not allowed to bring the physicality that defense has to bring. So what do? Alignment, assignment, execution, and communication. They're on point right now when it comes to that. And we spoke to a couple players, and that's what's being reflected. They're telling us, man, we feel like we're moving in the right direction. We feel like we're going to do some great things. It's just the energy on the defense feels really good right now. No pads. You got to be able to go out and be physical. But if you can't be physical, you have to be able to communicate, and the communication with the defense right now is on point.
Third down. Who's a guy that caught your eye people might not know about?
No one's going to know this name.
Okay.
Unless you're just a football junkie. John Rise Plumlee. You know who that is?
He was a famous author.
Famous author.
From the 1890s.
He played quarterback for Ole Miss and UCF. He transitioned to the wideout spot. He's wearing number 17. And I saw him catch a football, and he was gone. He was ghost. And I always try to find these underdogs and root for them because I was that guy at one point. So there's a name that you should watch during preseason. John Rise Plumlee. He was a quarterback at Ole Miss from 19 to 21, transferred to a UCF, had decent numbers through 2,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, but I transitioned over to the wideout spot. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's like 5'11", and he made some plays. He's a guy who I think is going to shine during the preseason and hopefully either hop on a practice squad or get picked up somewhere else. So number 17, if you're looking for an underdog to root for this year, check this man out. He's got some speed. He's got some hands.
Is it a pretty open competition behind the first three names in the wide receiver room?
You would think, I wowould think that Derek Young and Jake Bobo have the upper hand, but you drafted Horton, you drafted Ricky White, you got this young, you still got Cody White over there, you got Plumlee as well. I think Jake Bobo and Derek have the edge. I would hope Derek has the edge. Also, they have Sims in that group as well. Derek has looked like the more complete number 4 receiver. Didn't get a lot of time last year for whatever reasons. He's got the upper hand, but yeah, I think it's not wide open, but the door's cracked.
Fourth down. What do you like about the Seahawks coaching staff?
The communication, and it's intense, and it's nurturing. It's everything that you need. Carl Scott, I saw him get after a player yesterday. I believe it was Nehemiah Pritchett. And it seemed like Nehemiah made a play on the football, but didn't do it the way that Carl Scott wanted him to do it.
Yeah.
And he's yelling, Nehemiah, come over here. And I'm hoping that I could hear what he was saying, but then he quieted down, right? I grabbed your attention. You know you messed up, but now I'm going to teach you. I'm not going to embarrass you in front of everybody, even though sometimes people need to be embarrassed and they respond certain ways. Maybe he doesn't respond that way. I saw AD coaching up the defense, and he was yelling, and that accent was gone. I go, are you faking it? Are you faking that accent?
It's not.
I know he's not faking it, but he was yelling. I didn't hear no accent.
His accent is my favorite British accent. I don't know where it's like what region it's from, but I do watch a lot of British reality television, and whatever region his accent is from is the best British accent.
So AD is out there coaching. Mike McDonald is out there coaching in a different way. I mentioned it yesterday. It's a bit more intense. Just the communication amongst the coaching staff when it comes to the players on point. Kubiak seems like he's an enthusiastic guy, but calm at the same time. It's just it's refreshing out there, man. I appreciated the different type of communication. You got the intent, you got the nurturing, you have the teaching, and it all seems like it's flowing right now. Everything's good in June at OTAs. I'm sure the Tennessee Titans feel really good about their chances right now.
They're going to win everything.
I'm sure the Browns are like, yeah, we got a pretty good squad.
17-0.
But I don't cover them. I cover the Seahawks, and I love the way that the coaches are coaching and teaching out there in the ways that they're doing, the variety of ways that they're doing.
Do you think AD might see his role grow this year? I've been wondering, you can't just go from 0 to 60, hand the reins over to your defensive coordinator. Mike McDonald's first year, he made it clear, I'm the play caller. It's my defense. AD's here as defensive coordinator, and eventually will transition. Well, that's got to start somewhere.
I heard AD in an interview during OTA said, I got to put guys in the right position. So the fact that he's talking like that, I got to put guys in the right position, not McDonald, not us. I have to do it. Lets me know right there that his role is expanding. Probably not going to call plays this year. By the third year, I would expect him to be the guy.
Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Mariners taking on the Angels for a series opener. This one in L.A. Anaheim, really. 5:30 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports, 6:40 p.m. first pitch. Coming up next, he was part of a viral moment last week when he surprised his second baseman, Cole Young, with the news he'd be called up to the Mariners. Rainiers manager John Russell joins us to talk about some of Tacoma's young stars and a potential second rehab start from Logan Gilbert. That's next.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's not good.
Back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road, where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:40. Lyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
It's time for a girls' night out back. Australia's Thunder from Down Under Temptation Tour is hitting Galaxy at Muckleshoot, June 5th through 7th. Tight abs, ripped bodies, and moves so hot you'll need a cold shower after. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com and feel the thunder. June 5th through 7th, only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
With over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. Call 800-995-2929. That's 800-995-2929. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. Call 800-995-2929. That's 800-995-2929.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. Headed to the ballpark? Skip the traffic jams, parking fees, and the stress of driving. Make riding transit part of your game day ritual. Roll in with your crew, talk stats, and meet fans. No traffic, no stress. Community Transit riders enjoy seamless connections to light rail and ferries to get to Seattle and beyond. And youth 18 and under ride the bus for free. All in for the win. Plan your trip with Community Transit at ctgo.org/home run.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
The Mariners are transforming T-Mobile Park into Seattle's hottest karaoke club for Sing-Along Fireworks Night. Don't miss an incredible post-game show on Friday, June 13th, presented by T-Mobile, after the team squares off against the Guardians at 7:10.
He does it again. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
It's your chance to belt your heart out on the big stage to chart-topping hits and feel-good throwbacks. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's 2 spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Strong play call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
Visit mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets and see the complete lineup of Mariners fireworks nights this summer, including a patriotic palooza on July 3rd and an 80s show on July 18th. Plus, check out everything else on deck at T-Mobile Park, including a Father's Day socks giveaway Sunday, June 15th, thanks to Muckleshoot Casino Resorts. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners looking to bounce back on the road against the Angels. And Bump, I really, really, really hope they do, because do you know how upset?
Out of Dougie? I'm not a Dougie.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think kids even know how to Dougie today. They're on to bigger and better
Dougie?
things. I tried everything.
Nice.
It just didn't work out for me. I have no movement, no rhythm, no anything.
I think you undersell
Young me
yourself.
had more rhythm, but now old me is just, I don't know how to do anything. I go to a Pilates class. They're like, okay, do this. And then I look in a mirror and I'm like, what am I even doing? How are you doing that? But no.
My bad. I just...
No, but that's
took
not
you
what I
to
was
a different place.
I was going to say, do you know how depressed I'm going to be coming into Monday talking about the same thing? Like, I do not want, and I know listeners feel this way, I do not want Monday to open up the show being like, Mariners offense didn't show up.
Yeah, me neither.
We're just going to sit in silence if that happens. I'm not talking.
Makes for a long day. Very long day.
I know.
But, they have opportunity to get it right here. And
Yeah.
who are we going to see? Who's on the mound? Is it Miller tonight?
Yes. Curtis says yes.
All right, Miller on the mound. Got to see him kind of look like his old self again.
Yeah.
And why not bounce back against the Angels?
What do you feel is most important to see? Because for me, while I really do want to see a good outing from Miller. What?
Someone else lead the charge, please.
Thank you.
Somebody else. Cal is tired. That's why he's not going to do the home run derby. He's tired.
He's going to do it.
He is.
He's going to do it. It's going to be so funny. Here's the thing. No, Bob. He's going to do the home run derby. He's going to mash. Like, he's just going to rake, and he's going to hit from both sides, and it's going to be a whole topic of conversation. Everyone's going to love Cal Raleigh. It's going to be like when Julio stole the show at the home run derby. And then we're going to come in here, and we're going to be ready to talk about the home run derby, and I'm going to say, oh, Bump, are you still so upset that Cal did the home run derby?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be upset.
No.
And he'd be the first one to win with a torpedo bat, too.
They should just let him use aluminum bats.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Somebody's getting hurt.
Just do it. Absolutely. No, you're right, though. I want to see someone not named Cal Raleigh, and even someone, while it actually would be great to see Julio heat up, even someone not named Julio. If Julio gets, I don't know, a hit a game over the series, I'm cool with that. That's actually pretty solid.
A hit a game?
A hit a game. Very cool with that production.
I need some extra bases out of him.
Oh, so you want get a double, get a home run in there? Okay,
yeah.
that's also.
I need
If
some
Julio
extra
hits for the
bases.
cycle, I'm fine with that.
I'll accept that.
But I do want to see a little more from Dylan Moore. for instance. I'd love to see.
I want to see the young man Cole Young get another hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a tough go for him.
Williamson, just bottom of the lineup. Like, it is really upsetting to look at the lineup and you just see nothing but zeros from basically 4 on downwards.
Yeah.
And that's not going to win you a playoff game. I know that you felt like this was a playoff team.
They still are.
They still are.
They
TBD.
still are.
You're right.
Come on.
Moving on. Okay, we're going to the minor leagues right now. It's time for the Farm Report. Rainiers manager John Russell joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Hey, Coach, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good. We were just talking a bit about Cole Young, and you went viral. A viral video of you telling Cole the news that he had been called up. What was that like?
Yeah, anytime, you give a guy the news for their first call up. I mean, I remember my first call up, and, it's something that Cole will never forget. And, it's a special moment for him. And, just see the look on their face and the, kind of the astonishment that they get, almost like you're kidding with them. And it's like, really? And you're like, yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, I don't think I would say this if you weren't doing
what a
it,
horrible joke.
Exactly right. So it's a really special time, knowing that it's going to impact them the rest of their life. They'll remember it forever. They'll tell their kids about it, and it's really fun to do. And especially in front of his teammates. Sometimes we'll do it in the clubhouse, but taking him out of the game and his teammates were able to be there, and they were all very excited for him. That adds a lot to it as well, knowing that you have the support of your teammates. So it was obviously a really special moment for Cole, and I'm glad it's something he'll never forget.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's Coach. One of the things I love about just baseball is seeing a whole bunch of debuts. In other sports you don't get that as often, so it was cool to watch that. And then also you get to, coach guys like Logan Gilbert. A guy who's one of the aces up here for the Mariners. You get kind of the best of both worlds. How's that been with Logan? And you got some info for us? Another rehab start? Is he coming up? Talk to me, Coach.
Logan's a great guy. We don't talk a lot in spring training because obviously he's got a lot going on, but it's a pleasure when those guys come down. George was down, for a few starts when he was rehabbing, and anytime we get guys down, I mean they fit right in because there's a lot of guys here they know. Obviously, a lot of guys that were in Seattle that are back here that are kind of going back and forth, and so it's good for familiar faces. But Logan is a true professional, just like all the guys that come down. And, I think it's beneficial for our guys to see how he prepares and what he does to get ready for a game, and then watch him compete on the mound. And, and Logan's feeling good. I've talked to him his last couple of outings, and the main thing is he feels healthy. And now it's just, kind of getting the rust off to where, he's feeling, the release points on his pitches and using all of his pitches and getting a feel back. And, I saw a lot of progress in his last outing. And we'll see where it goes. I mean, I haven't heard of any other starts or when that might be, but I'm sure here in the next couple of days we'll get word if he is going to make another rehab start. And we'll just make sure that we give him the ball and let him do his thing.
Hey, out of curiosity, when you get a guy who's doing a rehab start and the idea is hopefully he's back up soon, so it could be a pitcher like Logan, a position player, anyone, does it impact how you manage the game? Like, how does that work for you?
It does, because, there's certain, restrictions, right. I guess you would call it, a number of pitches, no new hitter after a certain amount of pitches. And the goal, always the goal is to get to their pitch count. And for a starting pitcher is try to get them the ups, which is, coming, sitting down and getting back up and going back out. So you'd like to get them the number of ups and then get close to their pitch count. So you build them up. So when they go out for their next start, you can add on. The thing you worry about in a rehab start is if things don't go well and, they're knocked out in the first or second inning and, they didn't get the 3 or 4 innings that they wanted to pitch. They only got a couple. But the main thing is, is being healthy and feeling good. And it's just a little bit of a spring training mode for them of trying to get, ramped up for a major league game. And they're a little bit closer coming off rehab than they would be starting out spring training, so that's a plus. But those are some things you look for, and it doesn't really interfere with how we're going to approach the game. Just making sure we have guys that are backing them up. So if they do have a struggle inning, that we can bring somebody in that can cover some innings. But Logan did a pretty good job his last outing. He said he felt really good, and that's the main thing. You want to make sure they're healthy, and that's the first goal.
Coach, random question. You're from Oklahoma City. Are the Thunder going to be able to pull it off and get their championship?
Well, I was actually grew up in Norman, which is about 20 miles south of Oklahoma City. So I don't know. I'm not a big NBA guy, so sorry. But, there's always anything that has to do with Oklahoma. Obviously, it's near and dear to my heart. So I'm hoping that they do, because it's anytime Oklahoma's involved with anything, I'm always interested.
That's why he's a massive Baker Mayfield fan.
Absolutely.
we got to ask you about one more player before we let you go. Obviously, it's been really cool to see Cole up here in Seattle, and what an awesome start for him, by the way. What a way to wrap up his first Major League game. We're going to ask about Harry. We just talked with Harry a couple days ago. He seems like a great kid. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, very eager. He's young, and I think Harry is a great student of the game. I think he wants to be good, which is that sense of urgency you love to see in young players, that he wants to continue to develop and he wants to get to the major leagues. And, so he has the drive. I think with Harry, the biggest thing we talked about week one of the season was just, was pump the brakes a little bit and try not to learn everything in one day, because it's a process. And especially when you're a catcher, because it's, one of the toughest positions on the field, and there's so many things that go into it, and you can't get into a rush. And, our goal and Harry's goal, what I, stressed on him was let's just get better each day. And you'll look back and you'll be better next week than you were the week before. You'll be better the next month than you were the first month. And, just to, let it happen and not try to force it. And he's done a great job with that, of taking it one game at a time, one inning at a time, with the pitchers, working through it, asking very intelligent questions. And, it's been a really good level for him to experience, some older pitchers, some guys that have been around. Also, we have a mixture of young pitchers with Logan Evans and, some guys that he came up with. And excuse me, and then being able to catch the rehab starts for George and for Logan Gilbert, that's a great experience for him to see them more in a game-like atmosphere and pick up things off that. So Harry's done a really good job, and then obviously he's been swinging the bat very well. But I'm looking at him more behind the plate. I mean, I love that he's hitting, but very proud of what he's done behind the plate, and he's made great strides.
Yeah, that's a good point. You never root for injuries to your big league arms, but man, has it given Harry some really cool experience this year. Rainiers manager John Russell. Coach, thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
You bet. No problem. Thank you.
What I Need to Know coming your way. Get your questions in 866-979-3776.
Wyman and Bob, afternoons 2 to 7.
When Cal comes into work, he's a catcher. He's looking at game plans and how to get guys. So I know there's been a lot of talk about the heavy workload, but he's built for that. Some guys are just built to last.
Dan, he knows what it takes to be a catcher. He knows that life. He knows the grind and the pain in the knees and the lower back.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, afternoons 2 to 7 on Seattle Sports, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
When you have really good leaders, it makes it easy.
Gia arrived at Lee Johnson after 10 years at another dealership.
You know your job, but then you have people who you can rely on to help you with the big stuff that you need that support from. And I've gotten that every day with my service manager, with our assistant service manager, with even our GM and our GSM. The way that, we're now on the showroom together, we are so close-knit just as a department. My service manager here, he's always open to teach you whatever you want to know. He just wants everybody to do good around him, and if somebody wants to learn something, I'm here to do it. And I've never had a service manager like that before. They're really good at promoting from within. That's one thing that I've learned from working here. I see people start out as like a lot porter, and people like work their way all the way up to being a general manager.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot, because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house, the plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows, binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take a shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5HEshot.com for full details and rules to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
June is Men's Health Month, and we want to place a special emphasis on prostate cancer awareness and treatment. Prostate cancer can be silent. It's important to get checked, even if you have no symptoms. Ask your primary care doc for a PSA screening if you're 50 or over, and 45 if there's a family history. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment at Swedish Cyberknife right here in Seattle. It only takes 5 short treatment sessions. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Ryan Roland Smith for Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. I dropped 30 pounds and honestly, I feel amazing and it has been so easy to keep off. But I didn't want to just lose weight. I wanted to be in the best shape of my life. Look, I'm in way better shape than what I was even when I was playing. I've lost all that visceral fat, which is super crucial long term, and now I'm sleeping better. I've got way more energy, and I'm actually maintaining the results. I'm not guessing anymore when it comes to diet. I finally understand my body. The meals are simple, I'm never hungry, and they fit into my lifestyle. And yeah, now that I've dropped the body fat, I can still enjoy an Aussie meat pie on the weekend, and I'm not stressed about it. After speaking with Dr. Coogan, it all made perfect sense. Yes, it was going to take some discipline, but trust me, the results were well worth it. So if you're ready to take control and feel like your best self, Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com and book a 15-minute consultation. It changed everything for me, and it can for you too.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Any question. We're going to start with this one. Cole Young, first big league bomb? Question mark, question mark. Boarding that train, y'all?
Reality says no, but
wow,
my emotions.
A hater in our midst.
Says yes.
Sheesh.
I just want to get on base. I mean, I'll just take a single from the young man right now.
Frankly, a force out. Like,
you know,
fielder's
whatever.
choice.
Just get on base, baby. That's
Curtis.
what I'm hoping for.
Matt?
Oh, yeah. He's going Yahtzee. It happened this weekend. We're bored, and yeah.
Matt, obviously, I know that you are a huge Cole Young fan.
Big fan of Cole Young. Been following his
and
career.
What position does he play?
Yeah, he's a utility player. He pitches a little.
He's an everyman.
He catches
kind of
a
player.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know him so much. So yeah. I'm definitely boarding this train for sure.
Cool.
He's
Matt,
great.
you like his music work from Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Cole Young, right?
Next question.
No.
Okay. We're moving on. 866-979-3776. What's the plan this weekend? It's going to be hot.
I got to work.
That's boring.
I got to work.
That's unfortunate.
I might not even be able to play golf, man. I got to work.
Man, I'm going to go to Tacoma to hang out with my sister.
Tacktown Tactician 253?
Yeah, in Tacktown.
Mm-hmm.
I got to buy a panini maker.
A panini maker.
Mm-hmm. That's my task for this weekend.
Sounds expensive.
Or panini
maker.
press.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make the sandwich for you.
You make the panini.
I'm a panini maker. It paninis it.
Paninis it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It presses it.
Can't you just do that with like a pan and like a little press?
No, Curtis, I can't. What do you mean a little press?
Wow.
Or I could have a machine do it for me. It's just like a George Foreman grill, basically. Like you lift it up and you put the sandwich and then you like press it down.
Yeah.
What do you mean with the thing with the pan and a little thing? How do you get it hot? Do you like an iron? You heat it up? Do people make paninis with irons? I don't know. I'm moving on.
You could, essentially.
866-979-3776. Someone said, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Can we transition a reliever into, they said, basically, Logan Evans pitched arguably the best Mariners game of 2025 so far. Our starting pitching isn't the problem, says this listener. It's middle relief not being able to do their jobs. Can we get rid of Bizardo? How is Santos? Why don't we have any up-and-coming mid-relief in the minors?
Santos is like out for the year.
I don't know how to answer the rest of that
2
question.
years in a row.
So, they put him on the 60-day IL, so you're not going to see him for a long time.
I mean, in terms of, I think that sometimes bullpen problems, when you have a problem, tend to stick around. And in general, they can be kind of volatile year after year. And it's what's made the last couple seasons for Seattle especially impressive. But sometimes there isn't a quick fix for a bullpen. I do think they should add at the deadline to that bullpen.
Yeah, they should. I think it is. It's been a combination of everything. At one point, it was the starting pitching. At one point, it was the bullpen. Right now, it's the bats. It's just everyone taking their turn, messing this thing up.
Well, and when your starters aren't going as deep into games, you're exposing those middle relief guys a little bit more than they normally would pitch. So you're not helping those guys out in that regard.
I wonder, what is a panini? Someone said it's only a panini if you use a panini press. Hello?
Because it's a toasted sandwich.
Okay, so any toasted sandwich is a panini.
You need those lines in it, though.
That's what I'm saying, right? A panini, in my mind, is where it's smushed together. It's smushed and sizzled into a little sandwich and melty and delicious. Otherwise, it's just Quiznos.
Big those Quiznos, man.
I miss Quiznos.
There's one in Duval, apparently. I need to go check it out.
What's a reality? What's a fast food or just a food place that you remember from your childhood that you just don't really see anymore?
El Pollo Loco.
Oh, see, that's where California came in because I don't know that, man. Mine would be like, there used to be this buffet called Zupas. I loved it as a kid.
By the South Center?
I probably would not like it as an adult. I'm sure it wasn't good, but as a kid, amazing.
You guys have hot dog on a stick out here?
No.
Bump, you're in luck, though. El Pollo Loco recently expanded to the South Puget Sound area.
Oh, yeah?
Federal Way, Kent, Tacoma, and Puyallup.
I know what you need to do.
I know where I'm going after work.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
866-979-3776.
The last Shakey's was in Fairwood around here.
I went to it. I went to it.
What is it?
I
Is it
wasn't even
Shakes?
hungry, but I had to stop and go to Shakey's. It's a pizza joint.
You know what I've never had that everyone goes crazy about? In-N-Out. The thing is...
You've never had it?
No. And every In-N-Out I see always has a line that's so long that I'm like, I'm not doing
It
all
moves
that.
fast, though.
Yeah, they're in Oregon now.
Is there one here?
No, not in the state of Washington.
I thought they were putting one up here.
Maybe like Vancouver area.
Too
They have
far.
to keep it near their like distribution centers because they don't freeze their beef.
Oh.
So if they build like a new distribution center up this way, then I would anticipate one opening up, but that's probably years away.
Taco Del Mar. I swear there's still one.
Taco Del Mar's
See
still
around.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back Rainforest Cafe. Next question.
360 Godfather's Pizza.
Yeah. And pizza, what was it called? Round Table Pizza.
Round Table.
There's still one by Valley Medical Center in Renton.
Pita Pit.
Sizzler.
Sizzler was fancy.
Put your clothes on, kids. We're going to Sizzler.
Are you wearing socks? We're going to Sizzler.
We're going to Sizzler. Put your Get shirt on.
Button up your shirt. We're going to Sizzler. Just imagining everything. Have you been drinking? Stop. We're going to Sizzler.
Stop what you're doing, kids.
We're going to Sizzler. 866-979-3776. Between putt-putt golf with all of us, who would win?
Putt-putt golf so random. Anybody can get it.
That was a very gracious answer.
That's Bump's way of saying Stacy has a shot.
I was not expecting that one. That's so nice. You know what? I like to think I would have a shot, and I think I could get it done. But we'll never know. We'll have to go on a putt-putt adventure. All right, you guys, that'll do it for us today. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
The 0-2. Swung on, crushed, right field. This is gone.
Oh, that's not good.
Back-to-back home runs.
The good news is the Mariners hit the road where they're one of the American League's best road teams. Tonight, the first of 3 against the Angels in SoCal. First pitch at 6:40. Wyman and Bob take you up to Mariners pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports. Get every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you, irgpt.com.
Ready for some summer hoops? Register your team for the July 12th and 13th Everett 3-on-3 tournament presented by Boeing. 4 players to a team, 2 days of exciting action, 1 incredible tournament. Players of all ages and abilities are encouraged to come out and play. Go to everett3on3.net today and sign up your team. That's everett3on3.net. A special thank you to event major sponsors Amazon, City of Everett, Snohomish County TPA, and Tulalip Resort Casino.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin. I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for Nourishing Champions. Why pickleball?
Obviously, it's a growing sport, but also this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We are the most competitive people, so regardless of how sorry Doug might be, he will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl.
Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams primer and ceiling paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m., subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure